자, 유튜브 다시 보기 지금 켰습니다. 오늘 해볼 게임은 스탠리 패러블, 스탠리 우화거든요. 이거 한번 해보도록 합시다. 저번에 이제 했던 게 원래길, 그러니까 나레이션이 가려고 했던 원래길 쪽 엔딩을 다 끝냈었죠, 제가. 기억으로는 그런데 아니었나요? 나레이션 목소리 다시 한번 듣고 갑시다. 들으면서 음량 조절 좀 해야 되겠다. 어때 님들? 게임 소리 괜찮아요? 아니면 좀 커요? 살짝 큰 거 같다.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for the
맨 처음에 영혼 없는 일이라고 했던 게 이게 떡밥이었네. 원래 정신 조종한 그걸로다가 얘한테 이걸 시키고 있었으니까.
one day something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever
이제 다
change
노렸던
Stanley.
거임.
Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
헉. 잠시만요, 님들. The Stanley Parable. 디럭스 없나? 잠깐만. 스탠리. 철자 하나 빼먹었군. 디럭스. 굿. 자, 해볼까요? 저번에 그래서 왼쪽으로 하는 길 다 끝냈는데.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
오른쪽으로 가면 되는 거였지. 오른쪽 길 한번 가봅시다. New content.
Oh, new content?
당황하는 거 한 번씩 봐주고.
New content. Oh, and I guess this is where Stanley felt he needed to be right now. No, apparently not.
No.
When Stanley came to a set of two
오른쪽으로 가야
this
됐어.
was not the correct way to
맞아.
the meeting
버튼
room,
천국.
and Stanley knew it perfectly
버튼
well.
뒤지게 누르다 끝냈어.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh my god.
Yes,
Wow.
truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took
이게
the
안 되네.
first open door on his left.
여기 가가지고 내가 지하로 갔었지 않나? 저번에? 지하로 가서 내가 뭐 했더라? 뭐 돌아가는 길 뭐 가야 된다 모시기 하다가 그거 봤던 것 같은데. 저기 아래 내려가서 뭐 하나 더 있나? 스포일러. 맞아, 그랬었어. 여기 갈까요?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years
지
ago.
말대로 안 가준다고 화 뒤지게 되네. 그래 저번에 이거 타고 가다가 아래로 떨어져 죽었잖아 내가.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but
예.
the fact is that the story has been
우와,
about
저
nothing
물류
but
엄청
you
많다.
all this time.
저기 있는
Someone
저쪽
you've been
길도 갈 수
neglecting,
있을까?
Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
뭐가?
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
그녀? 걘가? 나 무슨 미쳐서 죽었던 엔딩 거기 나온 애 있잖아요. 얘 이름이 뭐였냐? 이사벨라였나?
This is it, Stanley.
뭐지?
Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside,
그녀를
to
다시
let
삶 속에
her
뭐야?
back into your life.
뭔 소리야?
She's been waiting.
Been waiting. 누가 날 기다리고 있다는 거지? 검은 문인데? 오씨 깜짝이야. 씨.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach
예?
out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick
전화를
up the
받으라고?
phone.
그거 말고 없어? 나가는 거는 나가는 거 안 되고. 받냐 안 받냐 차인가? 아니 그럼 코드 뽑는 거든. 이런 건 안 되겠지? 그럼 받아야 되나?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait.
뭐 나 안 받았는데?
Goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
얼라리?
No, that wasn't supposed to be a
어?
choice. How did you do that?
나 클릭하면서 돌아다닌 건데?
Chose incorrectly.
어?
I didn't even
이게
know
됐네.
what
이게 될 줄 몰랐는데. 잠깐만.
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley
쓰레기라니.
picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves.
아니
to
그런
one
해피엔딩이
another.
있었다고?
Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits.
괴전아 이러고
The
있네.
phone
씨.
is actually somehow an
노래네요.
incorrect course of action.
잘못된
How is that even
행동이라고?
possible? None
네가
of
뭔데
these decisions
잘못됐다는
were supposed
거야?
to mean anything.
세상에 아무것도
I don't
잘못된 건
understand.
없어.
How on earth are you making meaningful
의미 있는
choices?
선택을 하는
What
거예요?
did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't
No,
believe it.
that's not
How had I not
possible.
noticed it sooner?
아니 나레이션
Not
발음
Stanley.
너무
You're
중독된다.
a real
어?
person.
뭐? 너 진짜 사람이란 거 어떻게
I was
알았지?
so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to
What?
think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that
yeah.
kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate
어?
you properly on safe decision-making. in
교육이요?
the real world. Please observe this helpful instruction.
뭔 소리야 이건 또?
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice.
Rupert.
He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the
네,
world to make
벌레로
life
만드는
better
거야?
for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how
임용보.
to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense. And
현실
at no
세계는
time
이것과
should you
달리
make a
말이
choice
되는 곳이지.
that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not
말이
make
안 되는
sense,
사람과
in all
이야기는
likelihood, that person is not
그
real.
사람은 실제 사람이
Allow the
아니구나.
person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner
진짜
and practice
교육받고
saying,
있네.
My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back
이런
sack and
벌써
crack.
4시 30분인가? 브라질리언 왁싱을 하러 가야 될 시간인데?
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices
8개의
per day.
선택이요?
Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your
적은가?
choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your
넓은
thoughts and
우주
problems are
속에서
materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material
강화하기 위한
covered in this
연습이요?
video.
Welcome back.
어?
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate
뭐야?
as a result of narrative
나가는
contradiction.
문에
But not to
난그
worry. Now that you're properly
왜 벽에
informed on
박혀있네?
good decision making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
This way please. 다시 돌아가네? 원래 이런 펜스가 있었던 거 님들?
Now that we know your choices
못 떨어지게
are meaningful,
막아놨네.
we can't
어우씨.
have you jumping
어이
off
어떻게
the
알았어? 내가 뛰어내려 중.
Imagine the main
이럴 수가.
character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That
천재인가?
story would make no sense at all.
나의 자유를 이렇게 억압하다니. 이 위로 이동할 때 원래 그냥 뛰어내릴 수 있으면 여기로 갈 수 있었을까? 전 다음번에 해봐야 되겠다. 아니 일단 전화기 받는 것부터 해봐야지. 다시 돌아가네. 난 아래를 봤을 때 다리가 없는데 어떻게 이렇게 천 스치는 소리가 나는 거지? 돌아다닐 때? 헉.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending. The story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the.
당신은 현실의 집으로 돌아갑니다. 이제는 스탠리한테 말하는 게 아니라 나한테 말하는 거네? 날 쫓아내려고 하는 건가?
All you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
아니 왼쪽으로 들어갔어요라고 말하면서 양쪽 문을 다 열어주면은 이걸 어떻게 참아? 정말.
No! Why did you do that?
뭐야?
Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
오, 뭔가 깨져 있다? 야, 얘도 찌그러져 있어요, 님들. 와. 오. 아니, 그럼 네가 오른쪽 문을 열어주지 말든가. 누가 열어주래? 가고 싶잖아, 이러면. 내 잘못이야? 네 잘못이야, 이거. 뭐야? 413번. 412, 411.
It's ruined. I can't believe after everything we've
개판나
talked about
있네.
that my story, you've destroyed my work.
의자 위로
For
올라갈 수
what?
있지 않았나?
What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone?
그야,
You feel like so much
재밌잖아.
garbage. It's worthless now.
헉.
And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect?
헉.
How can I go back to that? I can't
왜 그렇게
erase that
화남?
knowledge.
왜 이렇게 화남? 왜? 왜 이리 화나? 왜?
I couldn't live that way.
열받을 거 없지
Is
않아?
it better to
왜?
shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do
답이라는 건 없어.
No, I have to.
너 맘대로
I have to shut
해.
the game down. I have to.
아니야. 그건 틀렸어. 너만의 듀얼을 해. 자자자 하지마. 아. 죽었어? 엄마야. 뭐야? 나가는 길? 안 나가지네? 오이씨 뭐야?
I'm here.
너 거기 있어? 나 여기 있어.
In this pile of rubbish with you who thought you were so clever.
헉.
Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed.
이거
It was
올라갈
the
수
only
있을까?
thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
안 되네.
What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how
그렇지.
important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
뭐? 난 꼬꼬마야?
My story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been
이미 다
victorious.
봤어.
It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be
시간이
fine.
돼감겼는데?
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
뭐야? 이번엔 왼쪽으로 가야 되는 거야? 아니면 이번에도 오른쪽으로 가야 되는 거야? 시간이 되감긴 건가? 뭐지? 돌겠네. 뭔 선택을 해야 되지? 싫은데? 나 오른쪽으로 갈 거임. 나만의 듀얼을 해.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
똑같나? 오, 미친.
Behave exactly as Stanley would.
부친.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task.
아니 오른쪽으로
Just
다시
follow
가니까
my lead and you'll be fine.
그냥 끊어버리네.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
그럼 왼쪽으로 그냥 가야 되나? 이러면 뭐 어떻게 됨?
Yet there was not a single person here
똑같은데?
either.
이러면?
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's
아니.
office, hoping he might find an answer
아니.
there.
이럴 수가. 아니 내 청소함이 닫혀 있네. 아니
To a staircase,
내려간
Stanley
길도
walked
막혀 있어.
upstairs to his
이럴 수가.
boss's office.
묻힌. 화장실. 아니 화장실이 잠겨 있어. 아니 엘베방도. 어? 뭐야 생기가 좀 다르게 생겼다. 들낙. 이게 안 되네. 요즘까지 들어왔을 때도 안 되니까.
Stepping
어?
inside his manager's office,
못하겠다.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not
원래
an
이런 계단이
indication of
있었나?
any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in
뭐야?
disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it.
자막이 안
Surely
나오는데?
behind this door lay all the answers to his questions, and beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on
패스워드가
his
없는데?
boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open
예?
the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now
언성을.
he would
그리
draw
연성을
from within
높이지 말고.
himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
암호를 말했다고요? 어떻게 말을 해? 마이크인가 이거? 음성인식 뭐 그런 건가? Nightshark
Stanley spoke the
115.
code. Nightshark 115. He
You-
spoke it.
마이크 설정이 있나? 자동 걷기 볼륨 없는데? 내 마이크가 없는데 이거? 수직 동기화 품질 그래픽 콘솔 없는디? 이게 무슨 소리야?
Into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Nightshark 115 나레이션처럼
Sorry, is there a
읽었는데?
problem? You
예?
didn't mishear me, did you?
아니 그 마이크가
Please speak the code into the receiver.
아니, 마이크-
Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
아니 마이크가 안 돼요. 안 되는 거
Okay,
어떡해.
fine. You're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do.
Oh.
I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done
갔어요.
whatever the hell you wanted over there.
오른쪽으로
Why did you come
갔더니
this
이렇게 된
way?
거잖아.
Say something to me. Explain
아니,
yourself, you
야 이게 내 잘못이냐? 뭐야?
When Stanley came to a set
오,
of 2 open
뭐야?
doors, he entered the door on his left.
뭐야? 너 왜 천장 위에 있어?
Stanley? Hello?
나 왜 격리당했어?
Is everything okay?
아니
Stanley, please.
아니 나레이션이 뭐야 더 엔드?
I need you to walk through the door.
나랑 스탠리를 반으로 갈랐는데?
Can you hear me? Is everything all
뭐야
right?
이거? 왜 엔딩 크레딧이 엔딩 크레딧이요? 뭐야 이거?
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together.
아니 이 새끼 내가 할 때는
Take that step
오른쪽으로 가지 말라고 그렇게
please.
빡빡거리더니 스탠리 할 때는 왜 이리
Something?
어?
Anything?
왜 이리 스탠리한테는 이렇게 막 착하게 돼? 왼쪽이든 오른쪽이든 상관이 없다고?
The story
뭐
needs it.
유니티요? 헉
So, you hear me?
호소하네 이제는.
Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice
아니야.
is correct.
스탠리의 본체는 나였어.
Choice.
내가 없으면은 상관없어. 리로이요? 리로이 젠킨스 아시나요?
To decide what's the right thing to do.
근데 왜 여기에서는 크레딧이 나오지? 뭐야? 멈춰 있어. 크레딧. 올라가다가. 왜지? 그래 다른 애들은 다 이렇게 그냥 끝나면 바로 이렇게 로딩 나오는데 쟤는 왜 쪼개 있냐?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
저건
Stanley
무슨
decided to go
엔딩이야?
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
나레이션이
simply
결국
missed a
스탠리랑
memo.
나를 격리해 놓는 엔딩인 건가?
Oh, and I guess this is where. No, apparently not.
그 다음에
Stanley
전화기
came to a set
받아보죠.
of two open
그대로.
doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
전화기를 받아봐.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
바이바이? 그러네 여긴 펜스가
Stanley,
없네.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
이 아래로 갈 수 있나?
I realize
저쪽
that
문이나
investing
저쪽 문으로
your
갈 수
trust
있게끔.
in someone
뭐야
else is
열려있네
difficult,
지금은?
But the fact is that
아깐
the
닫혀
story has
있었는데.
been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been
그러네
neglecting,
내려갈 수
Stanley.
있으면은 바로 내려갈 수
Someone you've
있겠다.
forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking
오케이
for me.
전화 받아.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself.
나레이션이 말하기 전에 바로 받아버리자.
Aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
응? 바로 받을 거야. 뭐야? 못 움직여요, 님들.
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
예.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
오, 엘리베이터 바로 옆에 있는 방이네.
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Gotcha.
어?
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving
뭐야 아까
wife?
해피엔딩이라며.
Commit their
너
life
아까
to
말했던
you?
거랑 왜 이렇게 달라?
I'm trying to make a point here,
넌
Stanley.
뭐야?
I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
뭐 이제 움직일 수 있네? 오?
Sorry,
오!
but you're in my story now.
미친 못 가게 막아버렸어. 이럴 수가. 이 간악한 녀석 열지 못해? 좀 개쩌네.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man
죽음이요?
named Stanley.
나 죽었어? J를 누릅니다.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and
네.
every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
F를 누릅니다.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going
뭐야?
home.
여기 노란색이었나?
Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I를 누릅니다.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his
Fantastic
desk,
adventure.
Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the
망상을
unknown.
했다.
Fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful.
Wonderful.
And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
L을 눌러 TV를 봅니다. 이거?
And so he began
오.
to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone
지금까지
in the building
시나리오잖아.
had suddenly
이
vanished
시나리오
off the
자체가
face of the
가짜였다고?
earth. The thought excited him terribly.
J를 눌러 아이들과 놀아줍니다. 아이들이 어딨어?
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either.
아니
At
지금까지가
last, choice.
다
It barely
그거였다고?
even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
아이를 눌러 저녁을 준비합니다.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible
전부
paths
서랍장이로?
and destinations.
아니 바닥도 달라졌네?
Down one path led an
카펫에서
enormous
지금?
round room with monitors and mind controls.
Mind
and down another was a
control.
yellow line that weaved in many directions.
라인.
And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it
어?
the Stanley
라인이 있었고
Parable.
라인이 있었다고? 스탠리 패러보 이야기를
It was
들려줍니다.
such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again.
지금까지
and
했던
again,
이 게임이
and
전부 다
again,
망상이었다고?
over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would
미친.
never end, that he might always feel.
아니
this
스탠리의
freedom.
상상력 장난
Surely
아니네.
there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
사랑한다고 말합니다.
But there is no
I love-
answer. How could there possibly be?
내 작업 환경이구나. 컴퓨터 있네 여기에. 저거 그럼 여기는 내가 맨 처음에 나갔던 그 길이겠네? 미친. 그 여기가 내 뒷부분이고 잠자리에 듭니다.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
네? 안 누르면 되는 거 아님? 근데 이러고 얼마나 있어야 됨? 그럼 이 경우엔 눌러야 되나?
You see? Can he just not hear me?
와 완전히 돌아왔어요
way
여기.
that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself. How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
호호 C를 눌러 아무것도 질문하지 않습니다.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. Not so
스탠리.
different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
I
Perhaps.
must.
Well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley
죽습니다?
pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
혹. 좀 무섭다 저거는. 오싹하다 살짝. 사실 모든 게 스탠리의 망상이었고 스탠리 정신병자였다고 그런 거 아니야? 헐.
All of his co-workers were gone.
좀
What could
그렇네.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
여기 뭐 다른 거 없겠지? 님들? 뭐 이런 모니터 같은 거 의미가 있을까? 이건 버튼 천국. 그 다음에 이제
When Stanley came to
가서
accept
아래로
two
떨어지는
of them,
거.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first. Just
지금 저 한 진행도만
The
따지면 몇 퍼 한
lounge was
거예요?
sublime,
많이 한
a
건가?
work of art. What was it? But eager to get back to
한쪽
business,
길에
Stanley
한쪽
took
길에
the
엔딩을
first
다
open door
봤으니까
on his
한
left.
절반 이상은 무조건 한 것 같은데? 거의 다 했다고요? 아니 그렇게나 많이?
Stanley was so bad at following
지르네.
directions. It's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Bad years ago.
Look, Stanley,
저기
I
아래
think perhaps
저쪽으로
we've
내려가고
gotten off on the
싶다.
wrong foot here.
트럭 위로 탁하고 안착하면 살 수 있을까?
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story
할
is
만하지 않나?
about nothing but
이거
you.
너무 올라가기 전에 그때 하면 될 것 같기도 하고.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stan.
이쪽 루트는 그리 많지
Someone you've
않다고요.
forgotten about. Really? I was in the middle of
What?
something. Do you
Really?
have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I
된다.
want
아니,
something
이게
bad to happen
되네.
to you? Well, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help
아름다운
you,
거요?
to show you something beautiful. Look,
Beautiful.
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
당신 편이란 걸
Give me a
증명해 볼게요.
chance.
우.
Now listen
비파이어
carefully.
비포.
This is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
아 이걸 어떻게 참아? 아, 어?
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red.
아 이걸 어떻게 참아?
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked
씨.
through the red door.
Red door. 아 뭐야 뒷바람이? 아 이걸 어떻게 참아.
You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well,
아 그런데
don't
아까
let
맨
me
처음에 두 개
stop you.
고를 때도 뭐 더 뒤에 다른 거 없는지 한번 체크해 볼 걸 그랬다. 갑자기
You see?
후회되네.
There's nothing here.
뭐야?
I haven't even finished building this section of the map because
아니-
you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
아
Broken
모함
rooms, exposed
만드셈.
developer textures. Is this what
아
you
개발자
wanted?
텍스처 이게?
Was it worth ruining the entire story I
격자
written
이렇게
out
돼 있는 거.
specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
나 그렇게 칭찬하지 않으셔도 참 그거.
Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours.
라면
What would have
박스요?
made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
오,
Work with
좋은데.
me gave me absolutely nothing so
둘 다
far.
주세요.
Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark.
사실 뭐 레이싱 게임 그렇게 좋아하진 않는데.
There we go. A third
오!
option. This already feels
무친.
leaps ahead of where we
그럼
were
이래놓고
before.
다른데 오
Go
뭐야
ahead,
여기도
Stan.
라면 박스로 돼
Take it for
있네.
a spin.
이래놓고 왼쪽 문 가면 어떻게 됨? 쉬는데 말 안 들을 걸 왜? 어? 뭐라고? 이럴 수가.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your
이거까지 예상을
experience with this
했다고?
new version. Would you say that the game benefited
아우,
from
1, 2, 3, 4,
allowing you
5.
more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
피드백 here. 저는 5번이 좋아요.
Aha! You see,
Aha!
I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from?
영감의
How did I
빗줄기.
know the game needed a third door?
Third
well,
door.
it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut.
나레이션의
I
정감
really couldn't say where
미쳐갔는데.
the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul.
So
Can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough,
새
I've
버전-
compiled
새
a new
버전이요?
version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it
완전
out of the park with
끝내준다
this one.
생각한다.
Let's take a look.
오 뭐야? The Stanley Parable World Wise 리더보드. 아 리더보드. 야 이 엔딩을 2초마다 어떻게 봤어? 아 지리네. 아씨. 미쳤다. 리더보드가 있네. 그럼 이번 왼쪽 문으로 가볼래. 이러면 네가 어쩔 건데. 뭐?
Now, would you say
이럴
that
수가.
competitive leaderboard helped you feel
여기까지 예상을
motivated to
당했다고?
keep walking through doors?
이럴 수가.
Again, honest answers, please.
아 이게 점수 주는 거야? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5번을 고르라는 게 아니라 저 5점 줄게요.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
플레이
Perfect.
테스트요?
Let me boot it up.
Let me boot it up.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You
네.
click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of
예술가가요?
course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you
4시간이요?
give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective. Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
어우 개 시끄러. 어우 씨. 죽게 되는 건 좀 그렇긴 하네. 어우 이게 4시간 좀 아닌데.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter,
극악무도
I
하다니.
don't know
아니
what to
4시간
do.
동안 이거
I'm
어떻게
completely out of
해.
ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm
Oh?
out. I'm done. It's over.
오버요?
Thank you. For
It's
playing.
over?
Your input was extremely valuable. Oh,
It's
hey, since the
not
game was so awful,
over.
Why don't we play someone else's game?
Till is over. 뭐야? 다른 게임이나 하러 가라며.
Aha, fascinating.
이게 뭐야?
What do you think
아니
this game is
그래픽이 너무
about,
다른데?
Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
뭔 게임이야?
Well, it seems obvious to me.
스탠리 패러블 맞아? 감시탑에서 무고한 시민을 뭐 예?
From up high in your creep tower.
파이어
Perhaps for
워치요?
some
그게
sort of
뭐야?
Twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it.
진짜 다른 게임이라는 거야, 님들?
Experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love
이게 무슨 소리야?
everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
아 진짜 다른 게임이라고? 왜 있는 거야 여기에? 와우, 오 마이 갓. 그래픽 봐라. 오 마이 굿네스. 와우. 어 뭐야? 아이씨 저쪽이었잖아. 아 왜 달리기가 안 돼? 쉬프트를 눌러 달린다. 안으로 다시 들어갈 수 있나? 문 닫기. 그건 안 되네. 그 뭐냐 저번에 할 때 그 바로 문 닫아가지고 막 했던 그 엔딩 마냥 닫아버리긴 안 되네. 우 그래픽 되게 뭐라 해야 되지? 약간
Oh no, it can't be.
뭐라 해야 돼? 뭐의 질감이 되게 뭐라 해야 되지? 뭐야 그 롤 애니 나온 거 있잖아요. 그거 생각나.
Good God, quickly block it off.
막아요? 뭐야?
Thank goodness.
뭐야 오픈월드 게임이라고 막아버렸네?
You really wandered off into that thing, that big open,
That
just wandering
thing.
around, no right or wrong direction.
옳고 그름 방해 없이.
You can just go in any.
자유를 억압하네.
Thank heavens we avoided.
아니 오픈월드가 어때서?
Out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
Another
Preferably something
game.
with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
벽이 있는 게임이요?
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
또 뭔 게임? 뭐야 이거 로켓리그잖아.
See, this is exactly what
아니,
I had in mind.
뭐야
A
이거?
nice big box for
아니,
you to run around.
잠깐만.
There isn't any
야, 그러면은
possibility that you could get
그
lost
스피드
here.
발판 있나?
Now this
축구공은?
is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally
와
impressed.
로켓리그다. 아 이거 되게 오랜만에 본다 이거.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
어
There are lots of
damn.
cars here in the back, but obviously there's
자동차는
no
있는데
race.
경주장은
Okay,
없다.
I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back
자동차로
here.
축구하는
Is this game
게임이에요.
sports ball?
예, 예, 예.
Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun.
와.
We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
어디. 오 진짜 로켓리그 공이다. 야 어디로 밀어야 돼? 원래는 마크였다고요? 아 진짜? 마크 버전도 재밌었겠다.
Are
우와.
you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun?
나 달리고
Is it better
있어.
than my miserable little story that I worked
나
so
지금
hard
달리고
on?
있어.
Stanley, I
나레이션.
have a thought.
나
And
지금
I
달리고
realize I'm not a
있다고.
sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal
왜 근데 골 처리가 안 돼?
then surely multiple balls makes for an even
뭐요?
more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
이번 파란 팀에다 넣어볼까? 어? 오, 또 빨랐어.
Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing,
야호!
doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery
야호!
shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable.
공이 하나 더?
Balls.
이게 몇 개야 이게? 이게 뭐 하는 거예요? 막 업적 중에 이런 거에서 공 몇 개 안에다가 집어넣기 이런 거 있을 것 같아. 그렇지 않을까, 님들?
Are you enjoying this, Stanley?
공을 막 몇 개 이상 집어넣기 이런 거.
Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time because guess what? It's over.
It's over?
That's right. Your
뭐?
little fun comes to an end.
내 놀이가
This is
끝났다고?
my game, and what I say
아니.
goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries.
뭐야, 나도 마인크래프트 보여줘요.
Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am structure. I'm your sense of
학부모
purpose.
같은
And
소리를.
since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like
왜
it.
삐졌어?
Set the
너도
rules.
즐겼잖아.
I don't
재밌었잖아.
think you'll enjoy it as much, but who knows? You're an inventive
꼴대
kid.
아래요?
You'll
오,
come up
하부-
with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
뭔 소리야? 行かないで. 오, 진짜.
What are you doing?
에? 에?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you.
따라갈
How
수
will you write a
없다고?
story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
오, 뭐야? 에? 여긴 어디? 난 누구? 뭐야 여기? 부금이 왜 이래? 나레이션 형? 원시 고대 스탠리 패러블이야? 빛이다. 뭐야? 컴퓨터가 있네? 창문도 없어 무슨? 뭐야? 이게 뭐지? 여기가 아닌가? 빛을 따라가면 되는 게 맞... 나 왔던 길을 돌아간 거 아니야?
What he found.
뭐?
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world.
내레이터의 존재요.
Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon.
아, 재시작이 된다는 거구나.
I can wait.
뭐? 나 조작도 안 된 줄 알았어. 깜짝이야. 특이한 엔딩이네, 저것도. 나 또 안 해본 거 뭐 있지, 님들? 아까 그 갔을 때 빨간 문 들어가는 거. 그거 안 해본 거 같고. New content. 나 하나도 안 해봤고.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
여기에서 옆쪽 갔을 때는 없죠? 그 뭐냐 여기에서 그 왼쪽으로 들어갔을 때 이쪽에 여기로 갔을 때 저 버튼 있는 방 저쪽 갔을 때 여기 루트는 더 없지. 아 그래요? 그럼 빨간 문 한번 들어가보자. 그냥 빨간 문 갔을 때랑 두 번 거절했을 때 빨간 문 가는 건 다르려나? 여기 슈퍼히어로 랜딩하면 어떻게 돼? 상자로다가 슈퍼히어로 랜딩!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley left from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he
트로기로 떨어진 게 아니라 그런가?
When Stanley came to a set of two open
저 아래쪽에 빛나는 거기가 있으니까 거기로 탈출할 수 있을 줄 알았지.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
싫은데요?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
여기서 슈퍼히어로 랜딩을 한다.
Really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be
아니 슈퍼히어로 랜딩이
but the
아니지.
fact is that the story has been
아래로
about
착지를
nothing but
한다.
you all this time.
Always
There's someone you've
time.
been neglecting, Stanley. Someone. Really? I was in the
Really?
middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
무시해.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
됐고 문이나 열어.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
reddoor. 파란 문을 가봤다가 빨간 문으로 가볼까? 그럼 뭔가 느낌이 달라지지 않을까? 좀 가보자.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be
행복하길
happy all this
바랬다?
time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here.
뭐야?
Running and running and running, just the way you're doing
어?
right now. Don't you see that it's
어?
killing us, Stanley?
어?
I wanted to stop.
어?
We would
어?
both be so much happier
어?
if we just stopped.
역으로 돌아봐.
And I think I have a solution.
내가 이렇게 역으로 돌면 네가 뭘 할 수
Let me show
있는데?
you.
어? 노린 건가? 아니 열로 들어도 여기 문이 열려 있잖아.
What
뭐?
do we want? What are we looking for?
갑자기 이러면서 막 이래. 여친처럼 굴어.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
뭐야?
If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place.
아름답다.
Stanley, I think I feel happy.
happy.
I actually feel happy.
뭐 나레이션이 웃었어. 뭐야? 이 뭐지?
No, wait. Where are you going?
이 뭐한 방이야?
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
아 그래요? 그럼 돌아가 드리지. 벽 되게 대충 그린 거 같잖아 이거. 우와 뭐야? 짱 이쁘다.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back
어머머머머.
there. Just stay here.
야 이건 좀 이쁘다. 우즈쿠 씨. 싫은데요? 갈 건데?
No. What did we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this
You
isn't getting
will
through to you?
die.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
그래요? 그러면 안 떨어지고 가드릴게. 또 가면은 또 나레이션 반응 또 달라지겠지? 그렇게 전화선 뽑아가지고 혼나고 나서도 벌은 못 고쳐가지고 계속 이러고 있는 내 모습? 나쁘지 않을지도.
You are going to stay here, aren't you?
하핫. 싫어요. 나레이션 조교가 안 되는데 이제? 어쩔 수 없군. 너 내가 경고했어. 계속 새로운 말을 하지 않으면은 난 떨어져 죽을 거야. 어? 오씨 떨어질 뻔했네. 오마이.
Thank God.
뭐야?
You lived. You have
이속이 느려졌어.
Now, can we please get back to the other room?
그럴까요?
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We
이게
really can.
내가 원하는 거라고?
If we stop
거짓말하지 마.
moving, we just Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
거짓말. 충격요법으로 다 해결을 한 거야.
No. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
좋아. 이걸 원하는 거지? 나레이션 녀석. 크크크. 나한테 애원해 보라고. 뭐야? 아무 반응이 없잖아. 너 혼날래? 자꾸 그러면 나 떨어져 죽는다. 계속 그렇게 굴어봐. 어? 확 나 떨어져 버리는 수가 있어. 아까 그 화면 붉게지는 거 봤죠?
Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
넌 안 되겠다. 끼야토. 오.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
그럴까요?
Yes. Perhaps you can.
뭐
Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
끝내 깨닫고 있다? 아 돌아가는 걸로? 야 근데 이건 이쁘다. 이 그 여러 가지 이렇게 색깔 나올 때.
I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
아닌데요. 야 이속이 근데 너무 느리다.
Perhaps not.
아닐 수도. 야 이속이 너무 느리다. 다쳐서 그런 건가?
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being
근데 그건
happy.
게임이
Am I
아니잖아요.
reading the situation correctly?
아니 근데 스탠리 님들 생각해보면은 코어 힘 장난 아님? 어? 다리 힘이 얼마나 개쩔면은 지금 이렇게 다치고 나서 저만큼의 계단을 계속 올라갔다 내려갔다 할 수 있는 거야. 이 친구 굉장한걸? 끼야토!
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
헉,
I just wanted us to... Do you actually want to stay alive?
헉,
Or are you just teasing me?
헉. 어떻게 알았지? 골려주려고 하는 거라는 걸? 그치만 나레이션 짱 이렇게라도 하지 않으면 날 돌아봐주지 않잖아.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
나도 나레이션 형이 행복했으면 좋겠긴 한데 이래서는 우리 둘 다 멈춰 있을 뿐이야. 제자리 걸음을 할 뿐이라고. 앞으로 나아가야 하지 않겠어? 어우 느려. 어우 너무 느려. 으아. 진짜 느려. 으아. 나 지금 몇 번째 떨어졌지 님들? 방금 세 번째 떨어진 건가? 끼야토!
Is it over?
죽었어.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
헉. 나레이션 형 목소리가 죽었는데 이제 뭐도 할 수 있지 님들?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided
왼쪽
to go
다
to the
했고
meeting room.
오른쪽
Perhaps
다 한
he
거
had simply
같은데?
missed a memo.
뭘로? 그래요? 뭐지? 뉴 컨텐트 한번 가볼까? 뉴 컨텐트 한번 가볼까? 아니면 다른 데 뭐 좀 더 뒤질 데가 있나? 해볼까? 뉴 컨텐츠?
Oh, new content?
Oh,
What does that mean?
new
New
content.
content.
어라? 여기 문만 안 열리셨으면 여기 뒤로 넘어갈 수 있을지도 몰랐는데 제기랄 이 방이 어떻게 생겼는지 확인할 수 있었는데 살짝 아쉽군. 뭐하는 방이지? 에? 나 포탈 생각난다? 나 구워버리는 거? 에? 뭐야? 진짜 뭐야?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded
돈
upon
받는
in
거 봐.
2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles
Wow.
and home computers.
앞으로다가 이거 시점 고정하면은 알아서
The
그냥
Stanley
되네.
Parable
마우스 안
Ultra
움직여도
Deluxe
되겠다.
features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
와우. Holy crap. Amazing.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures
스릴
await
넘치는
in
새로운
the
모험이래.
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's
나레이션도
just
몰라?
the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
어? 안 움직인대요?
Is it broken? What's going
어?
on here? Should we be moving
저
somewhere?
엘리베이터 안 들어오고 저
There we
옆쪽 길로
go.
가야 돼.
All right, finally,
깜짝이야.
at long last, it's on to the new
엘리베이터
content.
들어오지 말고 저
I've never
옆쪽 길로
been
틀었어야
more ready.
된다?
Let's do it.
뭔가 잘못된 거 아니야? 뭐야? 왜 로딩창 안 떠? 그냥 계속 이동만
I
하는데?
have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay.
지루하긴
Let's see the
하네요.
content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Give me the content, Stanley. 계속 콘텐츠 달라고 하는 사람들 뭔가 까는 것 같은 느낌인데? 예?
All right. Let's see. It's the jump circle.
어? 이게 무슨 안 하면 어떻게 되는데? 싫어 안 할 거야. 니들이 뭔데 날 판단해.
Is that it?
여기는
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
점프 해볼까요? 그러면 저기로 가는 게 끝인 것 같은데. 해보자. 끼야토. 그렇게 점프를 원했는데 점프해야지 그러면. 칠, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 어? 어? 끝? 이게? 그냥? 끝? 무슨
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley,
Goodness.
I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I
사전을
could just read
내리는
you
게
the
더
whole
낫겠다.
dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good.
오케이 까기 전에 먼저
I knew
멈추기.
there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
다리? Thank you for enjoying the new
That's
content.
it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started
이게
on the level of
울트라
craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's
게임의
achievements,
업적을
and it's
보는
hard
중이다.
to believe one of them actually says
테스트용
achievement,
업적임
please
무시할 것.
ignore. What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter.
트위터에서
and hold them
찾아내.
personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley.
아니, 진짜
I built
있나?
up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset
아니
the game?
뉴 콘텐츠가 이게
We'll
끝이야?
try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
싫어요?
No
아니
frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
What do you say, friend? 아니 진짜 끝이야? 거짓말. 뭐야? 달라. 지가우. 난데? 뭐시야? 이게 뭐야? 여긴 어디? 난 누구? 회사가 아니죠? 오,
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
싫은데요? 그 나레이션 말 들어볼까? 궁금한데? 뭐예요, 형? 오. What?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made
옛날엔
something
좋았는데
special
이런 느낌.
and tucked it away here
뭐?
where the game's developers won't find it.
뭐야 윗길도 있네?
Just our little secret. Take a look.
아 저런 데 있으면 올라가고 싶지 않아요 님들? 하지만 못 올라가죠? 아쉽죠? 이게 뭐야? 뭐야 이게? 이게 뭐야? 어? 이거 그거네? 그 뭐야 그 맨 처음 엔딩 거기 바깥쪽 아니야?
It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever
다시
I
돌아갈
want.
수 있나?
Experiences like the launch of the Stanley
아니
Parable on
막혔어.
PC.
결계인가? 그 약간 다크 소울 보스전 들어갈 때 다시 못 돌아가는 거랑 똑같은 느낌? 칫 결계인가? 우와 이게 뭐야?
You see,
Wow.
Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in
2013년
October of 2013 when the game
Don't
originally
forget.
launched? Back then, video games had
까먹지 말아라.
integrity. Back then, it all meant something.
라떼는 말이야 다들 의미가 있었다고. 이거 약간 그때 게임은 의미가 있었지만 지금은 의미가 없다라고 하는 거 보면 이거 완전 라스트 오브 어스 라고 할 뻔. 아니 그게 아니라 특정 게임들을 까는 의도가 있는 것 같기도 하고 아닌 것 같기도 하고 하하. 메모리 라네 뭐라 읽는 거야 이거? 메모리 라네 아닙니다. 달러 과연 CD 까릿 Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. 5시간 동안 게임 플레이하면 이런 업적이 나온다는 거야? 돈키호테 톤으로요? 관리자나래 메모리라네. 2열이구나. 시간이 아니라 그러네. 5년 게임 안 하면 준다고요? 이건 뭐야? It is impossible to get this what? 뭐라는 거야? 업적 이름도 못 읽겠고 저도 못 읽겠어. 머시기 저시게. 예, 그렇대요. 이 도전 과제는 달성할 수 없음? 아니 미친. 스탠리 패러블이 맨 처음엔 이랬나봐 님들. 스탠리 패러블. 아니네. 더 스탠리 패러블 모시킹이라 돼있는데? 다른 버전인가봐 이거는. 뭐지 이게? 신문에 나왔었어? 그 엔딩 죽은 엔딩 맞아. 우와 옆에 뭐 하나 더 있네? 이게 뉴 컨텐츠? 장난 아니다. 뭐야 이 부금?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the
리뷰.
Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "We're so many games that aspire to be more than games and
아니,
not less than
양쪽
any
개
form
많은
of
거 봐.
art. Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
원작이
It
최고다
was
이러고 있는
literally
거야.
Every game
뭐?
ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now it's nothing.
스카이림이랑
It's no games
페르소나
at all.
나오네.
It isn't even a
Skyrim,
Stanley Parable
Persona
anymore.
3.
It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
New elevator content. 뭐하는 방이지? 윗길 있고 아랫길 있네요. 아랫길 먼저 가보려 했는데 안 되네. 메모리 존 메인 10 뭐? 아무튼 여기 못 간대. 파이어 오리지널 더 오리지널 리메이크 뭐? 베데스다랑 아틀라스 까는 거냐고? 헉. 스타필드? 으아!
There's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
게임스팟.
The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect.
오리지널은
It didn't need anything
개쩔었다고요.
else. It didn't need new content.
New
It just
content.
needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
굳이 리메이크했다 약간 이런 느낌으로 다 까이고 있는 느낌? 뭐야 이쪽 길이 열렸는데 여긴 못 나가네? 더 시크릿 룸? 시크릿이 아닌가? 세리아우스 룸. 시리어스야? 아 시리어스 룸. 아 시리어스 룸? 저희가 어디 장면이지? 모르겠군. 이런 거 관련된 장면이 있었나? 모르겠다. 비슷한 걸로는 나 그건 줄 알았거든. 전화기 있는데. 근데 전화기 있는데 전화기가 위에 올려져 있을 거 아니야. 그리고 방 구조가 저렇게 길쭉하지 않았어. 시리어스 룸? 저것도 무슨 엔딩이지?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't
얘
give to
둘도
go
있다.
back to have it all over
헉.
again.
Of the year. 아 처음 만들 때 이런 식으로 만들었다 봐. 두 개의 문. 캬, 근본. 스탠리 베러보. 와우. 마크다. 뭐야 마크가 왜 있어? 뭐? 스탠리 라인이다. 아 이게 그건가? 아까 그 게임 했던 거 그거 다른 버전에서는 막 할 수 있었다며. 그 지은가 보네. 집 되게 못 지었다. 두부집도 아니잖아. 흙에다가 문 하나 달라놓은 게 끝이네. 딸랑 하나 해놓은 게. 뭐야 포탈 아니야 이거? 포탈이 왜 있어? 같은 엔진 게임이라 그런가? 그거랑 컨트롤 룸. 이거는 뭐지? 지금 내가 보고 있는 사진? 아 그건가? 그 옆길로 가지고 아래로 떨어졌을 때 그 박물관 같은 거 있는 거? 저것도 있다고요? 아예 나레이터가 지은 거야? 아씨. 와, 이거 예술적인 그 감각이 있네. 멋있네. 아, 이것도 예전에 예전 그 게임 거기에 있었다는 건가?
Wait, hang on.
Huh?
I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
뭐?
What's this? What's down here?
뭐 왜 빨개? 문이 닫혔어. 색감이 살짝 빨개졌는데? 오, 소다. 못 봐마시네. 나레이터 줘서 못 찍은 거 못
Oh
찍은 거.
no.
뭐야 여기?
God no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at them
아,
for years.
스팀
I
리뷰.
can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
세기말이네. 딱 봐도 호평들만 있겠구만. 2.9시간.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny. Trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into.
여기 왜
Stanley
좋아요
Parable,
돼 있는 거
but
있는데
the game is
왜 이건
already
안 봐?
such a densely layered web of profound
뭐야?
philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
소위 말해 갓겜충 같은 느낌인 건가? 그걸 깔려고 하는 것 같기도 하고. 뭐야 이거는? 어디 길이야? 발판 올라갑니다. 안 하네. 스팀. 아 스팀 리뷰가 워낙 많아가지고 이렇게 그러네. 컨테이너 안에 들어있는 거구나. 개웃기네. 개인의 리뷰들이니까.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley?
Preachy?
I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did.
화내지
It
마.
wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise
아, 근데 뉴
unimpeachable
콘텐츠
track
꽤나
record.
기네. 어?
I feel like a failure.
헉.
Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I've always remembered.
내 근들갑이었을지도 모른다. 뭐 물에 잠겨 있네 이건 또?
What's this one got to say?
Do.
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening.
헉.
I wish there was a skip button.
스킵 버튼?
Well, yes.
뭔 소리야? 나레이
If I'm truly too preachy, then
아니
maybe
나레이션이
letting you skip ahead for just a moment
알파에서
surely
오메가인데
could
뭔
hurt.
스킵 버튼이야?
Not
얘는
if
게임을
it
제대로
means we can
플레이를 안
strike these
했네.
negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley
뭐?
parable.
아니
That's my motto.
천안문 하겠다는 거냐? 이게 무슨?
I do
아니 아무리 그래도 부정적인 거를 다 지우면 안
Yes, a
되지.
skip button we shall have.
아 건너뛰기 버튼을 넣자고? 뭐? 스킵 버튼?
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was
뭐?
plenty of time for me to deliver a long
아니, 안 누를 걸. 아니, 제기랄.
unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need.
야 이거 녹음하는데 되게 힘들었겠다. 아, 스킵 버튼 하나 때문에.
I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise, or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it
교조적이야.
for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a
눈치 없이
display of
자기도
self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over.
딸깍.
Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say
Cookie
about this,
9.
and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam
Oh.
will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review.
듣고
Merely
있나?
because of this very
연쇄
situation.
할인마.
Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this
Yeah.
particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
에? 자막이 안 나와요. 에? 건너뛰기를 눌러야 되나?
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That
What?
last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
야, 문이 사라졌어.
Unendurable by any means.
Hello?
But it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think
방금
the skip
그
button has been aptly
대화를
demonstrated,
멈췄을
and we can say
때
goodbye to it
기준으로다가
and just
해가지고 뭔가
wait. How do we
좀
get out of here?
더 길게
Where did the
말해.
door go? Wasn't there a door that led into
그러니까
the room?
문이 없어요.
I do feel quite certain.
있었는데 없어졌어요.
How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole?
잠깐만 지금 시간 봐볼까? 2시 17분 정도죠?
Step away from the skip button to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Stanley, please don't push the button again.
12시간이요?
Hours. You've just been frozen there.
뭐?
I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
아니
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will... Oh, Stanley.
뭐야?
Look back.
전력이 나갔어.
Back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's...
일주일이요? 아니
Or 2 weeks.
시들었네
I've been
이것도.
sitting here all that
뭐야?
time, just sitting here.
얘만
not a single
빛나고 있어.
person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right?
무슨
Me talking and you saying nothing.
무슨
Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that
누군가 내
someone
말을
was
듣고 있다는 걸
listening.
내가 알아야
I
된다고.
needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley.
그게 이제
Now,
플레이어라는
stop the
거네.
story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every
야.
branching path. I'll burn
이거
my
좀
story to the ground. One single
나온 얘기가
thing
좀
I
좋긴 하네요.
need, and
예술병을
God, I can see
포기했어.
now that I needed more than anything is to know
예술이고
that someone
뭐고
else
청자가
is
있어야
taking
된다는
in.
거야.
These words that I'm
그래.
saying, I need to know
내가
you
만든 이
hear.
어떤
Because
이야기에
maybe,
무슨 뜻이
Stanley,
있든 간에
maybe if
하는
you
사람이
believe me,
존재해야 존재할 수
then
있다는 걸
maybe
지금 깨달은 거지.
It means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I
뭐-
scared of that all along? Perhaps. Yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time. That if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed.
이건 좀
by it.
들을 가치가 있는데?
I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decay.
와 이거 스크립트 짜는 것도 되게 힘들었겠다.
Less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive.
I'm
I am truly
alive.
and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though
아니
I
문과적
occupy
어휘 이거
space in
어디서
the world
가져온
again,
거야?
and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the
고사는
next time.
침묵도 느낄
What
수
a
있다.
terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it. To think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
그러나 이런 끊어지네. 그 이 다음에 이제 누르면은 아무것도 안 보여.
Oh, hello. It's
뭐야?
you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything
크다.
we've been through. I've had so much time. I
얼마
stopped keeping
지났지?
track.
1년이요?
Yeah. Have you ever sat down in one place and not
뭐?
moved for one entire year?
죽었어,
Let me
친구는.
describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the
아 님들 이거 1억 년 버튼 아니야? 아니
I felt nothing at
점점
all
나레이션이 해탈하고 있는데
longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling
그
had
감정이
begun to
가라앉기 시작했을
subside,
때
what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so
자유의지와는
long.
완전히 분리된
There could
것이다.
be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment. And I felt freed. I felt
아니 왜 이리
unburdened by the
철학적이야?
need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all
구조에?
timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being.
이 약간 그
Incredible.
다중차원 우주 약간 그런 얘기 아니야?
The
평행세계
equanimity
같은
of the
거.
moment, both singular and
그치?
infinite.
결국에 내가
For the
다른 데도
longest time,
존재하다
This
보니까
was my experience. And then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear
두려움?
I have ever known crept into my mind.
외로움?
And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible.
뭐죠?
I have been waiting for you.
헉.
Not that you might save me or do something to fix it,
헉.
but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence.
이 형태로서의
I
존재를
wish you to feel
기다렸다.
afraid as I do. That perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well.
아니 이게 딱 님들 그런 느낌이잖아. 그러니까 로보토미로 비유를 하자면은 지금 W 열차 속에서 나레이터는 가만히 있는 거고 나는 재현 같은 거야. 재현이랑 엘레나 같은 거지. 버튼 한번 딸깍하면서 나는 들어갔다 나갔다 할 수 있는 거 아니야. 그래서 그것 때문에 나레이터랑 나의 괴리감의 차이가 있는 거고. 딸깍. 어? 나레이터가 없어. 버튼에 불도 안 들어와. 나레이터 형? 죽었어? 시계가 멈췄어요, 님들. 배터리 다 됐나봐. 어? 화재 경보 그거 아니야, 저거? 시계가 떨어져 있어. 나 뭘 해야 되는 걸까? 할 수는 있을까? 와, 님들 근데 이거 디테일이 좀 있다. 처음에는 그 불 하나만 남아있을 때는 이 불부분만 들어오고 나머지 다 깜깜했거든요? 불 완전히 아예 다 꺼지니까 어둠에 익숙해져가지고 여기 부분에 오히려 더 밝아진 거 보여? 어둠에 익숙해져서 오히려 여기가 더 밝아졌어, 주위 부분이. 이럴 수가.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned. They screamed. They gnashed their teeth and said, "Entertain us." It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up.
아, 리뷰에 대해 화내고 있는 거구나.
It's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world.
이젠 스탠리가 있든 간에 없던 간에 자기 할 말 하고 있네요.
But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything.
산지 체크해 주세요.
We get a world where someone will say, "Oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze
저
Stanley
skip
in place
button
while the
저기네요.
narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it." And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes,
너무
it
많이
seems that this
화나는데.
is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and
오락이
discomfort
삶
with
자체가 될
ourselves
만큼
that our
거북한
entertainment is now
자라고.
our lives.
무슨
It has come to
철학적이네.
represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise,
오락을
without our entertainment, we
여가
have
시간에
nothing.
즐기는 게
Without
아니라
entertainment,
오락을 하기
we
위해
would have to
살아가는
face
느낌이 드는
inward
거지.
toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves.
잔인한
We
황량함과
would
마주해야
turn to
될
look
때.
at our deeper
뭐-
nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness.
아니 근데
In effect,
나레이션
we
말
have
듣다 보면은
demanded
틀린
that
말
our
거의 없는 것
entertainment be the
같아.
collapse of
일리가 있어.
ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity
변태들은
around which
안 물어.
these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes. Yes, of course.
처음에는 받아들이고 있다가 점점 중상모략으로 심해지는데? 점점 뭔가가 달라지게 된다. 어?
What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long.
아니 근데 나레이션도 진짜 오래 버틴 것 같아. 아까 마지막에 했을 때가 1년 이후로 세본 적이 없다며. 그럼 누를 때마다 길어진다고 했으니까 적어도 몇십 년, 몇백 년이 흘렀다고 쳐봐. 그럼 그 뒤에서야 지금 이렇게 울분토하는 거 아니야. 다르게 말하면은 그때 동안은 이제 싫은 말을 거의 안 했다는 거 아니야. 굉장하네, 어떻게 보면은.
And my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet
철옹성이
through
맞긴
which
하네요.
to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amuse them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed,
인간의
they
조건이라.
gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down
야,
review
발음
and make all
개찰지다.
of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much. They said, first, he didn't entertain us. Now he went,
어라?
shut up. It's the inconsistency. It's
어라?
the lack
아까
of
했던
accountability.
얘기 똑같이 하고 있는 것
It's the
같은데?
unwillingness to examine with an
말을 다물라니
uncompromising
이거였던
heart
거?
the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no
아니네.
consequences for a lack
다른
of
건데.
cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely.
아니야,
anyone
이거
can
맞아.
read the review. So here's what
이야기가
we get.
반복되고
We get
있어요,
these
님들.
demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, "Oh, there should be a skip
오,
button.
이거
You should
이거도 하나
be able to
봤던 거죠.
freeze Stanley in place while the
미친.
narrator sits there forever and
무한
ever.
순환
We got
구조였던
all
거야,
of this in the
말이.
new Stanley parable.
이럴
We
수가.
demand it.
아니,
And
나레이터
then,
당신
because it was said,
어떻게 된
because it
거야?
was spoken, now it simply has to happen.
어떻게 된 거야, 나레이터? 나타 반갑습니다. 또 아무 말 없어.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
나레이터 형. 괜찮아? 산지 체크해 주세요. 이건 진짜 산지 체크해야 되겠는데? 무서운데. 아, 엔딩 할 때 그 로딩 창이 뜨는 거. It's never the end. It's never the end. 헉? 뭐야? 뭐 사라졌네? 어디 어쩌다가? 왜? 뭔 일이 있었던 거야? 뭐야 이거? 빛이 들어오고 있어. 오 뭐야? 아니 얼마나 많은 시간이 지났길래 여기에 식물이 자랐어? 시간이 얼마나 지난 거야? 왜 무슨 소리야 이게? 헉! 그 식물이 다 죽었어? 또 그럴 정도의 또 수많은 시간이 흘렀다고? 야 근데 어떻게 이 버튼만큼은 멀쩡하냐? 다른 애들은 다 그냥 부서지고 망가지고 있는데. 뭐야? 어? 뭔 소리야 이거? 빨리 눌러 빨리 눌러. 헉? 오? 버튼 들어오냐? 부러졌나? 안 들어오나? 버튼? 버튼 안 된다. 버튼? 뭐야 여기는? 와 모든 생명체가 절멸했어요 님들. 전부 다 사막밖에 남지 않았어. 아니 얼마나 오랜 시간이 흐른 거야? 원래 여기 바깥쪽에 스팀 리뷰랑 그런 거 있었잖아. 그런 것들이 다 사라졌다는 거는 그만큼의 시간이 흘렀다는 걸까? 이제 샌드웜 나오냐고? 무친. 테라리아 칼라미티 렛츠고. 이럴수가. 헉. 황야로 걸어가는 It's never the end, it's never the end. 헉. 이게 추가 콘텐츠?
Someone was following
어?
Stanley. He
뭐야?
was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
어깨 넘어요? 뭐? 얘도 에? 아닌가? 에? 아닌가? 에? 아닌가? 뭐야? 저희 컴퓨터에 스파이더 카드 노래 하고 있는데? 뭐야 이건 또? 뭐야? 어잉? new content? 이게 뭐야? new content? 이게 뭐야?
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
new content. 뭐죠? 이거 아닌가? 어라? 어? 아 이번엔 스탠리 페러블 모시기 막 이거 안 나오네? 엘리베이터까지. 점프만 있는 게 아니야?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about
Yeah.
how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that.
뭐야 나레이션 형이 정상이
So
됐어.
forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I
어.
say we take it
뭐야?
one
불
step
꺼졌는데요?
even further.
에?
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the
불은
first
뭐야?
time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
2라고? 뭐라고?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover.
속편이요?
with a fully
Oh my
fledged sequel. An
gosh.
entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions.
Exciting.
This is what fans have truly been asking for.
우와 사무실도 바뀌었어. 지린다.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
너 지금 커비를 무시하는 거냐?
What does it even mean? but the Stanley Parable 2. Now
Stanley
that's an
Parable
artistic
2.
statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
아 스탠리 패러블 2 하려고 이렇게 여러 가지 이거 있었네. 야 이거 이쁘다 이거 아래에서 두 번째 거 딱 2가 저거 아니야. 정지 버튼 저렇게 짝대기 두 개 딱딱 해놓은 거 멋있다 저거. 오.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what
뭘진
exactly
정해두지
Stanley
않았다.
Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
기능 종류 일부요?
I figure that if I can loosely organize
뭐야?
a handful of
두 개,
interesting
두 개,
concepts, that surely the
두 개
game
눈,
will
두
sort
개
of
귀,
naturally
두 개
spring up
노
around
뭐지 저
them.
뭐야?
It'll all work
두 개
itself
팔,
out.
두 개 다리,
Game
물음표?
development is much more of a fuzzy
뭐-
magic than
아,
anything
두 개
scientific
콧구멍인가
or
보다,
logical,
저거는.
really.
레드 마커? Who took the 레드 마커? 누가 레드 마커를 가져갔나요? 제가 가져갔습니다 하고 메이하고 아래다 써놨네. 돌려놔! 마카가 없잖아. 우. This way to the show floor. 뭐? 뭐야? 발표회 같은 거야? 뭐야 투어버스 같은 거 있네? 오. 뭐 일로 오라는 게 아니었어요 나레이터 형? 어디로 가라는 거야? 여긴가? 도치 데스까? 도치 아 갸크? 시야요? 왜? 왜? 뭐 있었어? 왜? 어딘데? 뭐 문이 있었나? 아닌데? 문 안 열리는데? 왜? 여기도 아니고. 아! 아하! 확인. 가릿가릿.
Go
우!
on, try
뭐야?
out some of the new features.
새로운 기능이요? 뭐가 있지? 와, 야, 이 맵 뭐냐? 맵 크기가 어떻게 된 거야 이게? 스탠리 패러블 2.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one.
Ooh.
I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm
Balloon.
undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go?
뭐야 여기도 있네? 아 풍선으로 할 거냐? 풍선에 이걸로 할 거냐? 이걸로 할 거냐? 이게 더 이쁜데
You
이걸로
know,
하자.
sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize
야 이
that you
미친놈아.
knew which one you
반대로
actually
했잖아,
really
이씨.
wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, Stepney.
야 아니 이럴 거면 왜 물어본 거야?
Eventually, maybe I
뒤질래? 야.
No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
아우 무슨 뒷길도 있고 옆길도 있네? 아 어디로 가든 간에 똑같이 돌아오는 건 아닌 것 같은데? 어바브님도 나레이터 말 뒤지게 안 들었지 않냐고요? 일리가 있어. 아 여기서 더 윗길이구나. 저기는 딴 데 한번 둘러보자. 아까 여기였잖아. 여기 윗길 가볼까요? 뭐 한대요
A
여기는?
common complaint of the Stanley Parable
혼란스럽고
was that it was confusing and
역설적이라고.
paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense
Bucket.
of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a
스마트한
clever solution
솔루션이요?
to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
예?
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
예?
As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and
아니
perhaps
정신 세대라는
even
거잖아.
comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest,
무슨
it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be
게임이 덜
less
불쾌하도록 재설계하는
Can you
것보다
imagine
편한
the pain in
일이에요.
the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, Give it a try.
버킷은 신인가? 아니 곳곳에 있는 이 오브젝트들은 뭐야? Bucket. Just pick it up. 가지라네요. 쥐라네요. 뭐야? 검은 수염이
Can you
됐잖아.
feel it? The glow of
Yahoo!
comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the button
야.
lends you an air of charisma as well.
스탠리가 손에 뭘 들고 있는 거를 내가 살아있는 동안에
Has
볼 수
made
있을
you the
줄이야.
slightest bit more attractive as a person. The
난
benefits of the
매력적이야.
bucket seem to go on and on,
물량법
don't
할
they?
수 있냐고요? 아,
All
물
this
떠야
and
된대.
more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
뭐 들고 나가는 거예요, 이거? 실화야? 진짜네.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable
게임 중
bucket
가장
in a
재밌는
video game?
양동이상이요?
That really should be an award if it isn't already.
여기도 안 가봤고 저쪽도 안 가봤어. 2층으로 가는 길이 아까 맨 처음에 갔던 게 그쪽 부분인 것 같으니까. 점프 서클 앞쪽으로, 끝없는 구멍 앞쪽으로. 게임을 하고 있는 플레이어의 이름을 말하는 버튼. 예? 게임을 말하고 있는 플레이어의 이름을 말하는 버튼이요? 뭐야 이거? 아니 꼬마애가 왜 자랐어? 아까 그 버튼 누르는 그거잖아. 버튼 누르면 뒤로 가는 그 꼬마애. 애가 컸는데 사회인이 돼버렸네. 아 그렇네. Here you name in the game. 이름을 말하는 버튼. 이건 뭐냐? 어래? 에필로그요? 아닌가? 맞는 거 같은. 뭐지? 저건 왠지 가면 안 될 것 같군. 아직은.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of
Too
course,
big,
the first and most
too
obvious
small,
answer is
just
that they want to be
right.
individually
너무 크고
recognized
너무
and
작아요.
validated as
Perfect.
people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name
게임을
of the
하는 사람의
person
이름을 말하는
playing the
버튼.
game. Isn't
뭐야
that
그럼 나
wonderful?
지금 스팀 계정 프로스트킹으로 돼 있는데 그럼 프로스트킹 말해주는 거야?
Sorry, I should
집이요?
have clarified.
야 이씨.
Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
쓸데가리가
Of
없네.
course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that
게임이
is.
완성되면은
Let's have you roleplay as Jim to
Jim.
really simulate the full experience of this feature.
나는 건담이
Just
아니라
hang on.
짐이다.
I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath.
짐
clear your
조심
mind,
레이너요.
Forget whoever you are and simply become a person named Jim. I want you
특공대
to
나가신다.
imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love
Jim.
and being
Falling in
heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as
Jim.
Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
아니 제 꿈은 왜 무너져요?
Deeply, are you really, truly Jim right now?
난 짐이야. 뭐야?
You see, what
누를
a
수가
thrill,
있네.
what a rush, that was
야호!
you.
스릴이
I
넘친다.
can describe
흥분이
you
넘친다.
truly, don't it?
야호! I'm Jim. 야호!
It's even harder the second time.
개어이
If
없네.
this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2,
난
it would
짐이야.
still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
좀 쉰다라. 야호!
Oh there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
난
I'm putting
짐이야.
the Jim button away.
안 돼.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of
안
who
돼.
you
가지 마.
are.
내 이름 기억해. 난 짐이다. 내 짐이. 난 짐인가? Hi, my name is Jim. Jam.
I suppose I
여기가
could allow only
애플로
people named Jim
이름이
to play the
짐인
Stanley Parable
사람들만?
2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
점프 서클, 영원한 구멍. 여기가 아까 넘어오는 그쪽. 인피니티 홀. 우. 오 마이 갓. 우. 이건 뭐 하는 데지? 여기가 아까 내가 나왔던 데구나 처음에. 이게 영원한 구멍 쪽이지. 인피니티 홀. 이러니까 뭔가 님들 그 박물관 탐험하는 것 같잖아요? 처음 가는 박물관 볼 때 약간 이런 식으로 다 돌아다닐 수 있는데. 헉, 영원한 구멍.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right.
영원히요?
Infinite falling. You can fall until the
Infinite
end
hole.
of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games.
이거 좀 무서운데? 나중에 와야 되지 않을까 이거는? 지금 떨어지면은 못 돌아가지 않을까? 나중에 가자 나중에. 다음에 올게요. 약간 옷 같은 거 구입할 때 마냥 저 다른 데 좀 보고 올게요 이러고 안 옴. 국룰이거든요. 요즘 표지판 있냐? 다른 거 뭐 있는지 보는 표지판? 프리 뉴 이지 뭐시기? 무료 업적. 아 업적이구나. 수집품이 이쪽에 있네요. 업적 한번 보러 가자. 업적.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken
이 버튼
test
누르면은
achievement that got leaked
내려가는
in the game
고기
on
아니야?
accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see,
Oh.
you'll come to this lever, and when you pull... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is
아니
technology
아직
that
안
will
준다고?
exist. Right now, the achievement is still
아이
fully
뭐야.
broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
아이 뭐야. 더 땡겨봐. 안되네. 아니야 솔직히 이게 그냥 뻥칼 줄 어떻게 알아. 한 200번 땡기면은 된다 약간 이런 거면 어떻게 돼. 아닌가? 오? 길이 아니네요 여기는. 좋아. 그럼 이거랑 새 업적 받고 수집품 보러 갈까요? 수집품이랑 영원한
What
구멍까지 딱
else?
보고
What
오면.
other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
수집품이요. 여긴가? 오.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley
떨어지는 게
Parable
아니구나.
2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley
미니어처
figurines.
스탠리
And
피규어요?
what's truly innovative is that there will be no
수집해도
reward
보상이
for
없다.
collecting all of
뭐야
them.
이거?
I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect
에?
all of them, and then you
뭐야,
move
이거?
the hell on with your
쟤다
unremarkable
피규어요?
life.
아 피규어를 갈구하는 수많은 사람들이 나온 거야. 이것이 피규어인가? 뭐야? 아하하. 뭐야? 6개를 모을 수 있어? 뭐 5개가 이 안에 숨겨져 있다는 건가? 찾아야 되나 님들?
What is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it? Absolutely
어허.
tragic.
이 커다란 거 치냐? 아닌가? 못 모으게 돼 있는 건가? 그러니까 6개를 넣을 예정이다 뭐 이런 건가 님들? 이거랑 저 끝없는 구멍 인피니티 호울을 한번 가볼까요? 뭐야 나가는 길이라고 여기에 표시가 돼있네? EXIT. 그러니까 나가는 문이 막혀있네요 이쪽에는. 출구 점프 서클. 점프 서클은 왜 없어? 근데 여기로 가면 점프 서클 있다고 했는데. 아 저긴가? 여기네 여기 바로 아래쪽이네 여기네.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
Oh.
Oh wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw
어라?
the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative
뭐야 아이
piece
깜짝
then.
못해요? 제기랄. 아이 이런 다 쓰지 말걸. 영원한 구멍 한번 떠져 볼까요? 영원한 구멍이랑 아까 저 출구 쪽 말고 에필로그 쪽? 저것도 있었는데 저건 뭔가 한번 출구보다 에필로그를 더 먼저 가야 되나? 그게 낫겠지? 뭐야? 아까 영원한 구멍 여기 원래 천장이 없었는데? 천장이 생겼다? 아까 없었는데? 떨어져 볼까요? 끼야토! 진짜 영원한 구멍임?
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the
Infinite
teleport
hole.
button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
아. 계속 떨어지면은 뭔가 문구 나오나?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the
오,
top.
뭐야? 점점
Do it on
구멍이
the
작아지네.
Sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
너무 늦지 않게요? 그럼 너무 늦으면 어떻게 된다는 거지? 궁금한 걸.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's
네?
possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely
하긴
deep
infinite hole
hole. I
이러고
don't want
있는데.
anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
무한이
From one
아니라는 건가?
perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a
오, 뭐야?
Okay, well, good for you.
구멍에 바닥이 있어요? 아니 이런 게 있네.
I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so.
아니
clever.
인피니티 홀이
I
아니었어?
think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I
이럴
figured the
수가.
hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
너 혼자
Why don't we
했잖아.
just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite. If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
여기 좀 올라가면 되는 건가? 쬐끔만 더 있어 볼까요? 30초 정도만? 아니야. 아무 말 안 하는 거 보니까 거의 없는 것 같은데 그냥 올라가자. 그래.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
아까 그 에필로그라고 있었던 데를 먼저 가볼까 아니면 출구란 데를 먼저 가볼까? 에필로그 쪽이 먼저가 맞겠지? 거기는 화살표가 안 그어져 있었잖아. 그럼 거기를 좀 숨기고 싶은 느낌이 아니었을까? 거기를 먼저 가볼까요? 가보자 가보자. 어? 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 뭐야 위층도 있네? 뭐야 이거? 설정세계 챔피언. 설정세계 챔피언은 뭐야? 뭐야 이거? That's new. 아까 그 에필로그 쪽 있던 길이랑 이어진 것 같은데? 그러네? 이거 뭐야 이거?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the well, we'll figure that out later.
그래요. 끝없는 구멍, 거의 끝없는 구멍으로 바뀌었다고? 진짜네. 여기도 바뀌었나? 저 표지판으로 크게 돼 있던 거? 그렇네. 인피니티 위에다가 저 붙었네 저거. 거의 끝없는 구멍. 개웃기네. 이런 걸 또. 설정세계 챔피언 보러 가자. 야, 뉴 콘텐츠 맛있다 야. 어라? 뭐야? 나레이터 형 여긴 왜 안 열려? 아이 뭐야? 또 다른 거 있나? 뭐도 없나? 기웃기웃. 야 근데 신기하다. 이런 거 이렇게 많이 만들어놔. 갔던데 또 가면은 반응 없나? 반응 없나 보네. Try it here. 안돼 내 짐. 그럼 이제 남은 건 출구뿐인가요? 다 봤나 우리? 뭐도 안 본 거 있나? 조금만 둘러볼까? 시상식. 포스터 문구요? 그건 잘 모르겠음. 사무실 장식 거의 끝없는 구멍 안심 양동이. 기념품이야 이거. 스탠리 페러블 기념품. 뇌 모양 셔츠. 처음 들어왔던 길이고 여기. 스탠리 페러블 2. 출구함 가보자 이제. 아마도 더 없는 듯. 출구 가자 출구. 아 이렇게 있네. 점프 서클 갖고 5번 디스맵 저거 있고 프리 그래 무료 업적 받고 플레이하는 사람의 이름을 말하는 거 받고 Z Z가 어디 방향이야? 5번 지금 내가 여기 방향인데 기념품점이라고요? 아 그래? 아 내가 지금 보고 있는 각도가 A9가 여긴가? 그러네 A9가 이쪽이구나. 아 나 뒤를 그냥 이렇게 봤는데 N쪽 방향이 있는 데가 내 뒤인 줄 알았는데 거기가 아니라 저 A9 방향이 뒤쪽이구나. 아 오케이 그 어딘가 했네. 그 다음에 B2 아 바켓 받고 오피셜 뭐요? 뭐야 저게 3번 아 사무실 그쪽 그거 받고 에필로그 받고 A9 받고 인피니티홀 받고 이제 남은 건 나가는 문 뿐이네. 나머지 다 받네 그냥. 좋아 가자. 재밌었다. 유원지 온 느낌이었어. 스탠리 패러블 이런 이름의 유원지인 거지.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
네.
Ready to move on now?
예. 그니까 테마파크야 테마파크. 재밌었다. 갈까요? 뭐야 이거?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
퍽
I know it's not
괜찮던데.
exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul.
My
It's going
soul.
to work. There's definitely a good game
이게
in there
스탠리
somewhere.
패러블 2지.
So, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it
뭐야.
coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it
예스.
is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
2 5 시사회 같은 건가?
Well, I mean, there's
아 다 합친 거야 이게? 에라씨.
sort of. Okay.
풍선에다가 바켓스에다가 저 피규어에다가 점프 서클에다가 방금
This is much
홀에다가
better. I feel good about
이게 맞아?
it. Here we go. Version 2.
2 이게 맞아요?
Who am I kidding, Stanley?
에필로그 저기
This
박혀있고
isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
저기 기계도
I
있네
wanted
업적
more
기계.
than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
어라? 그거 완전 울트라 디럭스 아니냐?
With care for the vision and integrity of the original
어라?
game.
그거 완전 스탠리 패러블 울트라 디럭스랑 다른 게 없는 게 아닌가.
But it would need a really, really
웅장한
tremendous
타이틀 화면이
title
필요해요.
screen. A title screen that
그래서
says with
울트라
bold
디럭스라고
and
택하게 된 거야?
uncompromising conviction, this is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
좋아요.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Take a look. Take a look. 우와 뭐야? 오 스탠리 패러블 2. 오 뭐야? 뭐야 이거? 우와. 크레딧. 오 전체 크레딧 보기도 있네요. 와우. 설정. 플레이어 데이터 자동 걷기 토글. 자동 걷기가 뭐야? 한 손으로 걷기의 경우. 에? 자동 걷기 입력은 걷기와 정지를 번갈아 합니다. 낮은 민첩성 모드. 예? 시간에 민감한 입력과 정확도 플랫폼의 난이도를 줄입니다. 움직임 줄이기. 아, 화면 보시기. 비디오, 콘솔. 자동 걷기, 우클릭. 뭐야, 이런 게 있었어? 자동 걷기? 이런 게 있었어? 간소화된 컨트롤. 아 상호작용의 특정 버튼을 누를 필요 없이 그냥 다 통일한다 그런 느낌이네. 그럼 자동 걷기 한번 해볼까요? 궁금한데. 자동 걷기 토글. 예. 우클릭으로 자동 걷기를 할 수 있다는 거지? 건너뛰려면
This is the
클릭.
story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in
오,
a big building
풍선
where
뭐야?
he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk,
Monitor.
telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
어.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders
그래? 우리가 아는 그 프롤로그죠?
exactly for this job.
나레이터 형이 보여줬던 거 아니야 방금.
Was happy.
What's happening?
And then one day something very peculiar happened.
스탠리
Something that
패러블
would forever
2.
change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained
원래 움직여야
his
되는데 안
senses,
움직여지네?
he got
된다.
up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
아, 우클릭을 쭉 누르면은 내가 보고 있는 방향으로 계속 가, 님들. 아, 저 토글이라는 게 그런 거였구나. 오, 빨개. 뭐야, 속편은 이제 일시중지되었습니다. 그건 내 우클릭을 누르고 있으면은 알아서 앞으로 쭉 가고 있어, 이게. 우클릭을
All
누르는
of his
동안.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
이거 봐라.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
여기도 new content 있나, 여기도? 오, 뭐야? 오잉? 여기 왜 막혔냐? 오잉? 원래 저런 막힌 길 없었는데. 오! 앵동이! 양동이 가져갈까, 님들? 앵동이.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
오. 앵동이다, 앵동이. 이거 똑같냐, 이거?
Stanley took the bucket with him into the little hallway and closed the doors. This was their hideout. No one would ever find them here.
어, 뭐야, 뭔가 문구가
No one would ever
바뀌었어.
find them anyway because everyone was missing. But Stanley chose to ignore this
어,
fact
뭐야,
and instead
바뀌었어.
focus on how cool the hideout was.
Cool.
Just him and the bucket, two renegade heroes against the world, inside their secret, undetectable hideout, here, next to room 417.
417.
Ah, no, apparently not.
아닌데? 어? 어? 오씨, 뭐야, 안 열린 줄 알았다. New content가 원래 여기였는데 없었는데요? 없어. 이 나이.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
오른쪽으로 가면 어떻게 되지?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him,
양동이가
telling
자신을
him
부르는 걸
that the
느꼈고.
employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes,
Meeting
Stanley
room?
thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
그 말이 맞을
How
거야.
insightful the bucket
양동이의
turned out to be.
통찰력이 대단했던 거죠. 개웃기다.
No, never mind.
아!
The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
어떻게 해야 될까, 여기서? 이쪽 길로 갈까? 아니면은 옆으로 돌아갈까? 양동이를 들고 어디 엔딩을 보러 가는 게 좋을까요? 어디로 가든 간에 말이 되게끔 설계를 해놨을 것 같거든? 느낌은? 근데 어디로 가야 될까? 처음에 내가 지금 이 엔딩을 보려고 걸었던 길이 뉴 컨텐츠였기 때문에 뉴 컨텐츠로 가는 건 조금 뉴 컨텐츠 가는 게 막혔으니까 상관없는데 어디로 가볼까?
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
여기 말이니? 마법의 양동이야? 알았어. 이쪽으로 갈게.
Said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have
무시하면
alarmed
어떻게
him, of
해야지?
course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact.
싫은데?
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
내려왔는데 아무 안 해요? 싫어. 아무 말 안 하는데? 이러면 어쩔 거지? 버그 걸렸나?
No, stop.
뭐야?
Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley,
예?
how could you think it was okay to bring
어디에?
a bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
에?
I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this
문 바로 옆에?
Which, if that's true, well, my goodness.
아, 진짜네.
I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly.
아니 양동이가 어때서?
So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
뭐야 여기는? 여기가 어디야? 뭐야? 이게 뭐야 이게?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios.
Test
and you'll tell me
scenario.
whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
네?
Right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
이게 무슨 소리야?
Begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
아닌데요?
Correct. It is a hologram of
예?
a bucket, not an actual.
아니 그걸 어떻게 알아? 미친놈아. 근데 맞췄네? 바스님들?
Item 2. Is this a
방금 멈출 때 살짝 흔들리는 거 봤죠? 이건 진짜야.
Incorrect. It is a 3D
아니 양동이의 3차원 인쇄물이라고요?
actual bucket.
이런 미친. 멈출 때 살짝 흔들리는 거 보고 양동인 줄 알았는데. 다 아니라고 하면 되는 건가?
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
아니요?
Incorrect.
아니 이건 양동이야? 이럴 수가. 무슨 차이가 있는 거지? 에?
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
예? 아니. 님들 이건 양동이일까? 사실 양동이가 아닐까? 만약에 저 타이어를 양동이로 만들었다면? 이 몸체를 양동이로 만들었다면? 이건 양동이지 않을까? 과연 테세우스의 배의 모든 나무 부품을 다른 나무 부품으로 다 교체를 한다면 그건 테세우스의 배라고 할 수가 있을까? 이 트랙터의 모든 구성품을 양동이로 만들었다고 한다면 이건 트랙터일까? 그건 양동이가 아닐까? 아!
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor.
아니.
It's an enormous machine that tills the earth.
예?
I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to
이럴
screw it
수가.
up? Absolutely incredible.
이게
Just
양동이가
move on
아니라고?
to the next one.
거짓말이야. 이 세계는 거짓이야. 에?
Is this a bucket?
에? 이뭔 개? 네가 아까 아니라며.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
왜? 왜? 이유를 설명해.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
짜장면인가 짬뽕인가 남자인가 여자인가 백이냐 흑이냐 1이냐 2냐 모든 걸 의심해라. 짱구 아빠처럼 그 극장판처럼 그 조커 뽑기 것처럼 이건 양동이야.
Trick question. Both.
예?
Gotcha.
둘 다 속았다고? 야 이 미친놈아 답이 없잖아 그러면.
Item. Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me
What?
see. Should be around here somewhere.
예? 아니에요.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here.
Phew.
Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a
뭐?
bucket. Wait,
호드는
when I
양동이가
say
아니라고?
nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of
뭐?
course is not true. Unless, is that what you think?
모든
Answer
것은
me straight, Stanley.
양동이야.
Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
모든 것은 양동이야.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
넌 양동이야.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing
뭐야?
myself and
어?
myself
X
was all
눌렀는데?
I ever had
체크로
to
표시됐어.
deal with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all
뭐?
buckets from the game.
안 돼.
Okay, here we go.
내 양동이를 앗아가지 마.
What happened? Is everything gone?
모든 게 양동이기 때문에 이럴 수가.
Everything a bucket.
이럴
Every
수가.
single thing in the game was a bucket.
뭐라고?
I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all.
그러네.
You, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
나와 나레이션만 양동이가 아닌 거야.
We're not buckets.
Well, no,
I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's
Ease
delightful
right
to get some
now.
clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll
okay.
know that it's all a bucket. But
모든
if
게
you run into
양동이라는
anyone
걸 알
else,
수 있대.
maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
뭐야? 아니 설마 뉴 콘텐츠라는 건
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to
어?
himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door,
문을 통과할
I
수
can
있는 다른
make
문도
it
통과할
through
수
them
있어.
all.
설마 이 뉴 콘텐츠라는 건 양동이를 쥐고 나서 다른 엔딩들을 보면은 다 엔딩들이 바뀌는 구조인 건가? 지금까지 봤던 모든 엔딩들이 양동이를 짚는 걸로 달라지는 거라고?
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms.
그런
and a
거야?
wave of comfort rushed over
아니
him.
그런 느낌인 것 같은데 아무리 봐도? 방금 봤던 엔딩인데 그 구조가 아예 달라졌잖아. 양동이를 집었다는 거 하나만으로 스크립트가 달라졌다고.
Stanley
아니 그럼
clutched the
기본
bucket
엔딩을
tightly to
보면은
his chest and entered the door on his left.
가봐 한번.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Yeah.
Perhaps his boss's office was no Stanley. Can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes
양동이는
it
자기
deserves
것이야
a
한다고
bucket.
생각한다.
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know
Okay.
how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion.
그래,
and lifelong
내
friend.
양동이야.
You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name calling now, it seems.
이진
How
공격까지
low the
했다고.
broom closet has sunk that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over
자식이
the bucket. Stanley,
혼내줘야
I
되겠고.
never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting
아니
friends.
어떻게 그렇게 심한
That your
말을?
relationship is purely superficial and
청소도구함 주제에
that your
지금.
life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship
저
towards
잠시만요.
any
엄마한테 전화
inanimate
왔어요.
object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner. Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take our hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a
아니 아빠
bucket.
엄마한테 전화 와가지고
That way, if you're
제대로
ever
못 봤네.
unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket
뭐야
or
이거?
not,
아니 왜
you
스티커가
can look down
늘었어?
at this sticker and say to yourself, "Ah, it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety of
아니 이거 잠시
applications
동안
for
무슨
this.
말을 한 거야? 안녕 청소도감?
You know what? I could take the name calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just
그니까!
giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You
청소도감
can
주제
stay here
말이야.
all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
나갔어 나레이터. 청소도감 주제. 퇴.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
양동이랑 같이 엘리베이터 타면 뭐가 달라질까? 양동이랑 같이 화장실. 어? 뭐 여기도 닫을 수 있네? 빰빠밤빠. 문이 열립니다. 올라갑니다. 이야, 여기 똑같네. 누르면 이거 멈추는 것도 그렇고. 좋아요. 허! 이거 안 되나? 허!
Stepping in.
헉. 양동이와 함께 탈출 엔딩. 뭐가 달라질까? 어라? 원래 이쪽 문이었던가? 맞나 여기? 기억이 안 나네. 어라? 아래로 내려가는 길이 열려있는데? 아 닫혀있네. 양동아, 우린 여기를 탈출하는 거야. 가자, 나의 인생의 동반자. 야호! 나가는 거야. 여긴 우리가 있을 곳이 아니야. 오른쪽 길 닫혀있고. 어? 이 시작 지점으로 돌아가는 것 같다? 아, 아니네. 저 옆길. 맞아, 원래 이런 느낌이었어. 아니 근데 이거는 뭐가 달라질 수가 있나? 나레이터가 에? 관여를 못하는 장소잖아. 여긴 닫혀있고. 달라질 만한 요소가 없는 것 같기도 하고. 그 양동이 가지고 가는 소리 빼고는 딱히? 뭐가 있나? 처음 엔딩만 한번 다시 봐볼까? 야 근데 진짜 똑똑하게 만들었다. 디럭스 따로다가 엔딩 몇 개 만들어 놓은 다음에 이제 양동이와 함께하는 엔딩으로다가 이렇게 스크립트나 이런 거를 죄다 바꿔놓을 줄은 몰랐네. 아니 천재 아니에요? 아니 똑똑하네. 이런 식으로 만들었다는 생각 못했는데. 리소스도 아끼고 그러네. 나가버려. Escape. 어우 눈앞이 안 보여. 깜깜해. 너무 어두워. 우클릭을 눌러버려. 자동으로 앞으로 가게 해버려. 헉. 뭐라? 원래 이거 안에 들어가는 게 있었... 에? 어? 어? 쉿 이러고 있네 씨. 눈물 닦아주는 거 뭐야? 아니 개어이 없네 씨. 떨지 말거라 양동이 형. 여긴 네가 가야만 해. 자 여러분 여기서 우셔야 합니다. 떠나렴. 여길 나가서 세상으로. 뭐야? 와 무친 양동이가 저 올라가는 저 소리까지 들려준 거구나. 오 뭐야? 응? 어? 에? 원래 사무실이 이렇게 생겼? 동가?
All of his co-workers were gone.
뭐야
What
여기?
could it mean? Stanley decided to
뭐야?
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
오 양동이가 없어. 탈출했어. 잠깐만. 이거 어떻게 된 거야 이게? 아 양동이가 뭐야? 아니 완전 재시작이 아니라 이어지는 건가? 뭐야 이게?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it
Oh?
didn't make a single. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
아닌가? 똑같은 건가? 양동이는 뭐야 내 양동이 돌려줘요.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up. Stanley stepped into the room,
똑같은데?
but there was nothing here. So he turned around and coming to a
아니 내 양동이 어디 갔어?
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
내 양동이 New Content도 사줬는데?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
아니 양동이를 보내면 안 됐나 봐. 아니 제기랄.
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated
이거
this.
뭐였지 님들?
What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't
스프릿은
possibly have
뭐냐고요?
known
몰라.
this.
저 자막 오류인 것 같은. 일본어 자막 한번 다 틀려볼까? 모르겠는데.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was
모르겠는데.
2845.
2845? 그게 뭐지?
But it turns out that the panel's emergency
Oh?
override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
아 그냥 열어주네. Two, 8, 4, 5. 어? 2, 8, 4. 어? 4가 여기구나. 2, 8, 4, 5. 맞췄다. 아니 이름 똑같나? 오 뭐야?
You found one of them. One of
뭐야?
the miniature Stanley figurines.
올라리?
Remember, no reward for collecting all of these. Only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
아니
You can't
피규어도
buy
있네.
that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
야토. 와 피규어다. 아니 양동이 없이는 아무것도 안 되는데? 양동이를 내가 보내버려가지고 다시 못 돌아오는 것 같은데? 아이 큰일났네. 이거 왠지 같은 엔딩들을 보게 될 것 같은데? 느낌이.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
그럼 아까 그 파란 방은 뭐지
It was a
근데?
stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
Yes.
This question would not go unanswered for long.
그러네. 처음에 엔딩 봤을 때는 똑같은
Stanley
전개로
walked
가고
straight
있네.
ahead through the large door that read Mind Control
Red
Facility.
Mind Control Facility. 똑같은 것 같은데?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with
양동이를 들고 오는 게 맞는 것
What
같은데?
horrible secret did this place hold?
제시작? 그럴까? 여러분 양동이 생기냐? 어? 뭐야 왜 또 파란 방이야?
All of his
있다.
coworkers were gone. What could
반갑다.
he do? And try not to lose this one too, you
어?
dolt.
잃어버리지 않도록 하라고? 뭐야 내가 다른 데로 보냈다는 걸 알고 있는
Stanley
건가?
pushed the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
이번에 말로 원래 엔딩 한번 봐볼까요? 뭐? 어? 방 분위기가 왜 이래? 이런 것도 원래 없었는데? 뭔 소리야 방금? 헉! 커피가 넘어졌어. 어? 뭐야? 원래 안 이랬는데? 뭐야 왜 이래? 아래 뭐 피규어라도 있냐? 뭐라 써져 있는 거야 저거는? 트러스트 더 검 뭐라는 거임? 뭐 아무튼 저런 말도 있고 뭔가 특이한 게 많아졌네요. 콜라 한잔 하겠습니다. 아니 원래 4시 안에 끝날 줄 알고 4시에 저 운동하러 나갔어야 되는데 아 정말 어쩔 수 없네.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the
이번에
bucket
원래
walked
엔딩 보러 가죠.
upstairs to the boss's office.
그니까 비도 엄청 많이 와. 러닝 못 뛰어.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned
2,
to discover
8,
not an
4
indication of
잠깐만 이거
anything like.
하면은 또 막 그
Crushed by the weight of
대기
this
있지 않았나?
revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster
북번쳐오는
fire if not for
감정을
the
추스르지
soothing
못하고
presence
주저앉았을
of the
거예요.
bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
컨퓨전.
It would be with him
싫어요.
always. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket
양동이가 알고 있었던 걸까요?
was
이러고
the
있네.
bucket guiding him? Yes.
Yeah.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
양동이는 나였던 거야. 내려가봐. 거기 내려갔다 올라갔다 하는 거기에서도 양동이가 꼽사리 끼겠네? 이건 또 신기하군.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting
문명이요?
towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself
양동이
together,
슈스테리가
if not
정신을
for the
다잡으려면
bucket.
그것밖에 없었어요.
Soothing him, comforting him,
그를 달래고
reassuring
위로한
that in
양동.
this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
오.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
어.
The lights rose
이럴
on an
수가.
enormous room packed with television
우와.
screens. What horrible
우와.
secret did this
오우씨
place
또
hold?
떨어질 뻔했네.
Stanley
맞네.
and the
떨어진
bucket
엔딩도
both
있죠 여기.
wondered to themselves.
우와. 우와.
Others jumped to life,
감시
and
카메라야.
Stanley nearly dropped
놀라서
the bucket
양동이를
shop.
떨어뜨릴 뻔했어요.
Everyone in the office was being
우와.
videotaped, monitored
떨어져
by guinea
보자고.
pigs.
아,
The bucket
원래 엔딩 한
had
번만
never seen
봐보고.
anything like
뭐가
this,
달라질까?
and it very
궁금하잖아.
nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently,
부드럽게 껴안았을 때
reassuring him
눈물이
that
터질
everything would be
뻔했어요.
fine.
양동이는 나의 동반자야.
Was the bucket under the
Elevator.
mind control facility's influence?
양동이도 마인드
Had
컨트롤
the
알아요?
bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to
양동이가 일을 지시받아요?
do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
그런 게
These
어딨어.
questions raised furiously in Stanley's feeble.
여린 마음속을 질타했다.
No! He screamed.
No!
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never!
Never!
Squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one.
양동이 위엔 아무도 믿을 수 없었다. 뭐야? 아,
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
수많은 버튼들.
And as the cold reality of
폭발
his
엔딩도
past began
달라지려나?
to sink in,
양동이랑 같이 있으면?
Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls.
그와 양동이가 제어 장치를
Two
분쇄할
best
거니까.
friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
아,
They high-fived
둘은
in a
하이파이브를
way,
했고.
and the bucket made a sassy comment about
양동이는
taking
체제
down
전복에
the
대해
system.
배짱 두둑한 멘트를 날렸어요. 이야, 뽀사버려. 헉.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Was it over?
They had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their
이게
greatest
아닌가?
and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of
오,
life they
뒤로 가면
wanted
어떻게
to
하지?
live. Once they stepped through this massive door,
어떤 삶을
the
살고
bucket
싶었나?
wanted to learn to
양동이가
roller
롤러 스케이트를
skate.
배우고
Stanley wanted to
싶었다고요?
sneeze in every country on earth.
모든 나라에 재채기를 하고 싶었다고요? 재채기를 어떻게 해?
Stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
뭐야?
What? Wait. What was
Oh?
happening?
뭐야?
Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
어?
An unbearable silence filled the room,
뭐야?
lingering in uncertainty.
여기까지가 나레이션의
Until finally
시나리오?
the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket. Needed the
뭐라고?
soothing warmth of the bucket. Would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket.
이럴 수가.
No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley
아니.
realized he would never again leave this very room.
아니 폭발 엔딩에서 폭발이
At least
아니
he
폭발
has the
엔딩이래. 탈출
bucket.
엔딩인데 탈출을
To be
못하네?
trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
뭐? 아니 탈출 엔딩인데 양동이랑 같이 가면 탈출이 안 됨. 뭐야 방 다시 돌아왔네?
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley
어?
thought. How
이 얘기?
amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley
혼란이 전부 다 사라지는 것 같았다. 아니 지금 DLC 요소 아니 아까 그 요소 봤던 것 중에 뭐 있죠? 뭐 풍선이 앉아서 작업하고 있네. 지금 본 게 지금 양동이랑 피규어 말고 없지 않아? 영원히 떨어지는 그거랑 에필로그
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
또 뭐 있었지?
Entered the door on his left.
폭발 엔딩 한번 보러 가볼까요? 좀 궁금하긴 해. 또 똑같네 여기는. 방 분위기가 계속 달라지네. 이게 양동이의
Coming to a
저력인가?
staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
좋아. 쭉 가봐.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
오 마이 갓! 양동이가 모든 걸 알고 있었어.
The bucket guiding him.
엘베를 타려다 말 수 있냐고요?
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
이 엘베요? 이거? 이건 내가 버튼 눌러야 되는 건 아닌 것 같은데? 엘베를 타려다 봐라? 그 사무실 쪽 엘베 말하는 건가? 거기도 내가 버튼 눌러야 움직이는 거랑 다를 텐데.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that
근데
read,
그건 있을걸요?
Mind
그 엘리베이터
Control
왔다 갔다 하는
Facility.
거. 이 엔딩 있잖아. 이거 다시 타가지고 위에 올라갔다가 내려갔다가 올라갔다가 내려갔다 하면 나오는 거. 그 엔딩 있잖아. 그 스탠리가 그 경연하게 되는 거. 기자회 한번 갈까요? 그럴까? 그래. 양동이 기자회. 재밌겠다. 올라가?
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something
숫자
very
3에
intriguing
매우
about the
수상한 점이
number
있었어.
3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Bucket said nothing. 오. 3번을 눌러보고 싶다 했지. 눌러볼까?
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the... Well, he said, the number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent.
어?
This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt
뭐야?
such a connection.
이것도 무슨
with the
스토리인가? 이게 뭐야
How
이거?
was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
아니 양동아, 너는 이 3번이 아무렇지도 않은 거니? 양동이야, 3번을 봐. 얼마나 재밌어. 우리는 7, 9, 4, 2 아니었냐고. 친구 사이 아니었냐고. 다시 탈까?
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3
하긴 원래
repeatedly.
스탠리는 버튼 누르면서 좋아내었으니까. 다시 올라가. 기자회로 가자.
No, 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 said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I
뭔가
have been
달라지네.
through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel
Script.
the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the
헉.
bucket said nothing.
근데 양동이가 원래 말을 할 수가 있나요? 그게 가능한 일인가?
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll
Some,
really
some,
show you.
some,
He ran
some.
to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his
아니,
dreams
이빨사오도
and
아니네.
hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all. Only silence,
어허.
crushed by a wave of...
원래 양동이는 말을 하지 않는다는 걸 스탠리는 언제 깨달을까요?
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one
안녕, 난
another. Why
스탠리야.
suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of
그리고
Stanley's?
이 부분이 네가 좀
The
관심을
question
가져야 하는
caused Stanley
부분이지.
to ruminate
나는
all
양동이랑
the way
대화할
down
수
the
있어.
elevator.
자,
He
잘
knew that there
보라고.
must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate
양동이는
fully
말
with
못해,
his dear
멍청아.
friend. Surely there was a
스탠리.
solution, mustn't there be?
아쿠아맨. 그거 짤 아직도 생각난다. 난 물고기와 대화할 수 있어. 난 거북이야, 멍청아. 아쿠아맨. 다시 올라가.
Ah, said Stanley. I know what to do.
어?
I know how to fully express this
그게
feeling in
무슨
my
소리니?
heart. He decided right then and there that
오!
he would hold a press
기자회견으로 바로
where he
연결되네?
would speak to the public on all
3을
matters
누르는
relating
것과
to
관련된
pressing
모든
the
사항에
number
관하여
3
대중에게
over
전할
and
거예요.
over.
뭐
He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it.
뭐
Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see
아니,
the world
스탠리의
react
광기가
to this
돼버렸네.
discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
기자회 들어가자.
For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further.
아니, 언제 그렇게 많은
The day
리허설을.
arrived. Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been
Oh,
for
stage
anything in
door.
his life.
3 3으로 바뀌었네 이거. 427 3
One last chance
적혀있는
to
모든
bring
것들이 다
the
3으로
bucket
바뀌었잖아.
One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
다 3으로 바뀌었네. 자.
There was no one here.
어?
Nobody
뭐야?
had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means.
원래는 그 화나는 사람들이 뒤지게 많았는데.
Over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting. He was a failure. And in that moment,
3.
Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously.
혹.
There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant.
돌아가야만 해.
They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious.
기자회견
Any sense
이후로
of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference.
뭐야?
There would be no
안
more
돌아가지네.
games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit. Only a silence that consumed the space between friends.
헐.
And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
일상의 고독이래. 안 되네 3번. 헐 쓸쓸한 엔딩을 맞이하게 돼버렸어. 어? 양도인 반응이 없었어요. 뭐야 방금. 아 버튼 천국 안 봐.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it
Stanley
mean?
decided to go to the meeting room. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
딱 폭발 엔딩까지만 보고
Stanley clutched
오늘
the
이쯤까지
bucket
합시다.
tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
다른 것도 다 보고 싶은데 시간이 모자라다. 다음번에 또 낮방에 한번 해가지고 그때 가끔 해서 쓱 하고 짧게 다 볼게요. 그게 맞는 것 같아. 폭발 엔딩은 못 참지.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned
2,
to discover
8,
not an
4,
indication of any human life. Crushed
뭐야?
by the weight of this
5번 안 눌렸어?
revelation, Stanley guessed the correct
Bang.
code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
아니면 마지막 엔딩으로 그걸 볼까요? 그 찌그러지는 엔딩? 그 박물관 엔딩? 아니 박물관보단 이게 더 나으려나? 오.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door. that
Mind
led-
control.
Mind control facility. The lights rose on an enormous room.
헉
packed with
놀라워
television screens.
조명이
What
켜졌어.
horrible secret did this
우와
place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
어머나 세상에. 좋아. 좋아.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the
세상에.
bucket in shock.
어머나.
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
아하.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears.
얘 내가 들었던
Stanley
길이구나.
cradled it gently, reassuring it
얘를
that
봤던 거고.
everything would be fine.
폭발 엔딩 때
Was the
그렇게
bucket
버튼이
and the
많은데
mind
바켓을
control
들고 있으면 뭔가 좀
facilities
달라지지
influenced
않을까?
as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
No.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never!
Never.
Squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this
좋아.
point, he could trust no one.
폭발하러 가자.
except
다 함께
the bucket.
복수하자. 이봐 시명이 우리가 왜 왔는지 알겠나?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working,
좋아.
all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality
이것은
of
다
his
내
past
거다.
began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power
반드시
over
승리할
another
것이다.
human life. But at the last second,
내 거야.
Bucket jumped in and pressed the button to
양동이가
turn on
뛰어들어
the controls.
버튼을 누르고 제어 장치를
Stanley
켰다고?
gasped
뭐?
in horror.
양동이가 한
Had
거야?
this been the Bucket's plan
이럴
all
수가.
along? To take over the machine and
양동이 이
claim the
자식.
power for itself? How could the Bucket have betrayed him like this?
내가 한 게 아니라
Stanley was
양동이가 한 걸로
prepared to
듣네.
throw the Bucket away in disgust
이미지?
when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
에?
Birds. Silly.
왜?
Silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
뭐야? 어? 얜 독수리 같은데 이건 뭐냐? 제비인가? 독수리냐 제비냐? 전 츠바메 가이시가 좋네요. 히켄 츠바메 가이시 플라밍고?
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another.
아,
and then
앞
it
뒤네
dawned
이거.
on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring
어리석은
and
새를
surveilling silly
감시하는
birds
시설이라고?
all over the world.
이게 무슨 소리야?
The mind controls were only
귀엽다,
for some to
펭귄.
disguise its true intentions. Had the Bucket known this
갈매기
all?
아니야? 아니 이 버튼에
Stanley
나오는
marveled at the
거. 얜
metal
독수리잖아.
gears in his hands.
독수리랑
The one
제비
who
아니야
had
이거는?
pointed him
아무리
towards this
봐도
incredible discovery.
화면에 나오는 거
Stanley and the
말고.
Bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the
예?
silliest birds
일생 동안이요?
imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken,
어이가 없네.
this one was surely the best.
땡건
And
귀엽다.
Stanley was happy.
happy. 귀엽다. 버튼 천국.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never been
마지막으로
alone, not truly alone.
그
Not
박물관 한 번만 보고 갑시다. 박물관.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
얘 들고 게임 엔딩 가면 어떻게 되려나? 아까 그 다른 게임 나왔던 엔딩 있잖아. 거기 가면 어떻게 나오려나? 그것도 궁금하다. 그건 뭐 다음번에 알아보는 걸로 하고
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket
왼쪽으로
walked
한번 가볼까요?
upstairs to the
아래층으로
boss's
가면
office.
저것도 미쳐버리는 엔딩인데 미치는 게 아니라 양도이 덕분에 멘탈을 붙잡게 되나?
Stepping in
그것도
his
어떻게
manager's
되려나?
office, Stanley was once again stunned
2,
to discover
8,
not an indication of
4, 5.
any human life.
야호!
Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
들어가자.
The bucket knew all along. Was the bucket
양도이 쓰고 춤추는 거라고.
Yes. This is certainly
개
the most
재밌겠다.
logical explanation.
야, 기지개 한번 피고.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large
싫은데요?
door of red,
일로 갈 건데?
mind control although this passageway
전
had the word
탈출을
escape
하겠습니다.
written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley
아
and the
정말요?
bucket would both meet a
우와
violent death.
놀랍다.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket
우와.
still had every opportunity to turn around and get
아
back on track.
진짜요? 우와.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death. for
각자의
each of
매우
them.
고통스러운 죽음이래. 양도이도 죽음을 향해 가고 있다고 말을 해주네. 끝없이 떨어지는 인피니티 홀. 거의 영원히 떨어지는 구멍. 오. 빠직. 쾅.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth
따뜻함과
and
아늑함이
comfort
얼마나
had turned
무의미한
out to
것인지
be.
생각했다고?
To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself. and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time.
너무 많은
carrying a
시간을
bucket
어폐했다고.
everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
이번에 아래 안 열리냐? 딸깍?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket
Ho-
were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end.
양동이의 생명은 끝이
Crushed
났다?
violently to death.
스탠리는 살았다는 뜻인가? 이게 무슨 소리야? 양동이의 생명은 끝이 났어요? 뭐?
It
The
was a
Stanley
shame, the
Variable.
death of such a magnificent
위대한
bucket.
양동이가?
It's true that all buckets are raging
모든
to their
양동이가
own
조마에
way,
방지고
but this
빛나긴
one
하지만
stood above the rest.
양동이계의
It was a
거목이요?
glorious bucket to
어
behold.
뭐야 양동이가 손에 사라졌어. 올러리? 어디 갔지? 양동이 대전시에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 당신 지식의 절벽에 서 있습니다. 양동이와 마찬가지로 인간의 마음은 종종 이 속이 비어있고 동굴 같은 공허입니다. 그러나 앞에 있는 전시를 통해 마음은 충만해지고 풍부해지고 구체화됩니다. 양동이와 그 역사에 대한 지식은 우리가 실제로 가진 유일하고 진정한 지식입니다. 여기서 배운 것을 세상에 가지고 나가시겠습니까? 이 전시의 정보가 줄 수 있는 도전을 열린 마음으로 받아들이시겠습니까? 이 전시의 결과로 자신과 살아가는 사람의 삶을 바꾸시겠습니까? 아니면 눈을 감고 하던 대로 무지와 암흑 속에서 살아갈 것입니까? 뭐 양동이 전시회라고?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to
25개의
take a bucket
양동이.
like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short
스탠리보다
life?
고귀한 삶의 양동이었다고? 지옥불 양동이. 너무나 강력한 매혹을 뿜어내기에 중세시대 수십 개의 국가를 손에 넣으려고 전쟁을 벌였던 지옥불 양동이의 복제품입니다. 뭐라고요? 수십억 명이 죽었지만 결국 누구도 양동이를 통제할 수 없다는 사실만이 남아있습니다. 이게 뭐야? 동굴 벽화. 우린 양동이의 존재가 인류보다 앞섰다는 걸 알고 있지만 얼마나 오래되었는지는 모릅니다. 이 동굴 벽화는 양동이의 실용적인 용도를 발견한 초기 인간들을 묘사하며 이 시기의 양동이는 이미 수천 년 동안 존재했을 가능성이 큽니다. 이 그림에서 양동이가 자신을 사용하도록 허용하는 것을 주목하십시오. 인류가 그 보물을 받을 자격이 있다고 판단한 겁니다. 뭐야 부족 같은 소리 들리네? 우가차카 같은 소리? 이게 양동이? 스트레스 양동이 해설 없이 제공됩니다. 스트레스 양동이요? 이건 또 뭐야? 무친. 이게 양동이 전시회. 두 개의 손잡이가 달린 양동이. 두 개의 손잡이가 달린 양동이를 묘사하고 있습니다. 이러한 디자인은 너무나도 위험하고 무모하게 실험적인 것으로 간주되었기 때문에 실제 제작된 예는 없습니다. 매년 제작을 시도하다가 사형당하는 사람이 수십 명에 해당합니다. 엣? 도대체 양동이란 건 뭘까? 그 정도로 위대한 거였어? 뭐야 여기는?
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one.
오.
It is man who should kneel before
양동이
the
앞에
bucket.
무릎을 꿇어대는 건 사람이다. 매달린 양동이. 이 작품은 양동이와 인간의 필연적인 관계를 상징합니다. 양동이에 대한 우리의 이해가 아무리 명확하다고 해도 우리 손에 닿지 않는 지식이 아직 더 있습니다. 이 거리는 그럴만한 이유가 있기에 존재합니다. 아 인피니티 홀이 여기 있네요 님들. 와 아니 거의 무한한 구멍 여기 있네. 어? 안 떨어진다고? 헉! 뭐야?
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
양동이를 살리는 거?
Let Stanley die. Let
It?
him be crushed by the machine.
It?
Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets
뭐?
from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler,
양동이가
as
통치자요?
king, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
헉. 뭐? 자, 그러면은 오늘 스탠리 패러블은 여기까지 하도록 하게 됩니다. 감사합니다. 다음번에 또 이어서 하는 걸로 하고, 저번에 끝낼 때처럼 네 버튼 천국 엔딩 보고 갈까요? 와우, 이게 버튼의 천국이다. 야호. 그러면은 저는 또 밤때 블루 아카이브 최종장 1장부터 하는 걸로다가 거기서 만나 뵙도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다. 그럼 빰바입니다. 저 이제 운동하러 갈게요. 수고하셨습니다. 와, 그런데 스탠리 페러블 2라고 뜨네. 지린다.